Chapter 1177. Everyone looked at Qin Feng with schadenfreude. Previously, Lucy had said that Qin Feng was a bodyguard, so no one believed that he could afford to compensate Zhang Hua with 2 million. Only Leah remained calm and collected. She even had a faint smile on her face. Not to mention 2 million. If Qin Feng was really angry, he would be able to get you 20 billion in minutes. Ha! Do I look like someone with 2 million? Sorry, I don't have the money to compensate you. Qin Feng had plenty of money, but he couldn't be bothered with people like Zhang Hua. Give Zhang Hua 2 million? Qin Feng had nothing better to do. Zhang Hua guessed that Qin Feng had no money, and his face immediately revealed a playful smile. He didn't care about these 2 million. What he wanted was to slap Qin Feng in the face. Yo, you brat, you're so arrogant, yet you can't even afford 2 million? A servant like you has the nerve to come to such a high-class party? No money, right? Alright then, kneel down and kowtow to admit your wrongs. If I'm happy, I might not want your 2 million. Otherwise, I'll immediately call the police to arrest you. Zhang Hua, who was previously nervous and afraid, was now arrogantly staring at Qin Feng. This guy was jumping up and down again. Leah laughed coldly in her heart, but she didn't come out to reprimand Zhang Hua, because she knew that Qin Feng would teach this person a lesson that would make him wish he was dead. The group of rich young masters and beauties were shocked. Young Master Zhang was indeed young Master Zhang. He didn't want 2 million just like that. Zhang Hua, that's enough. Today's party is to welcome my good friend Leah. Isn't it just 2 million? I'll give you the money and you can leave immediately. Although Lucy's impression of Qin Feng was average, she still stood out to help Qin Feng on account of Leah. A cold expression flashed across Zhang Hua's face. He was furious to death. Compared to 2 million, he wanted to slap Qin Feng in the face more. Hee. Lucy is indeed a rich woman. What do you mean by this? You want to stand up for that bodyguard? But I don't want your money. This matter was caused by Qin Feng. I only want him to pay for it. Zhang Hua did not back down. He clearly wanted to go against Qin Feng. Qin Feng originally wanted to ignore this brat, but in the end, he was still not done. Do you really want me to pay? Qin Feng suddenly smiled at Zhang Hua. Zhang Hua stared blankly for a moment before he quickly roared with a ferocious expression. Nonsense! You burned my clothes and watch, so of course you have to pay for it. But I don't have that much money. What do you think I should do? Qin Feng smiled coldly and didn't seem nervous at all. Zhang Hua rolled his eyes and suddenly laughed. You don't have money? Then you'll have to work for me from now on. You have to be obedient to me. Even if I tell you to eat shit, you can't refuse. Zhang Hua was arrogant and egotistical. His words immediately caused a burst of laughter. Haha, young Master Zhang really knows how to have fun. That brat deserves it for offending young Master Zhang. His life is finished. What's the use of just brute strength? This isn't the era of one-on-one battles. A brute like him is the easiest to deal with. The crowd began to discuss again. Zhang Hua was full of smiles. Qin Feng acted as if he couldn't hear everyone's voices. His expression didn't change at all. He looked indifferently at Zhang Hua and said, Sell my life to you? I'm afraid you can't afford it. Qin Feng was speaking the truth. With his current status as China's Green Dragon and Martial Arts Alliance Master, who would dare to make Qin Feng sell his life to him? Did they want to die? However, Zhang Hua and the rich young masters of South Africa didn't understand the situation. These people had stayed in South Africa for too long and didn't know the situation in China. Otherwise, who would dare to say a bad word about Qin Feng? Haha, you said I can't afford it? This is the funniest joke I've heard this year. Since you don't have money, and you don't want to sell your life, then I can only call the police to arrest you. Zhang Hua wanted to use the police to threaten Qin Feng, but Qin Feng didn't look afraid at all. Zhang Hua waited for a while and couldn't hold it in. Was this brat really not afraid, or was he faking it? How about this, let's make a bet. If I lose, I'll sell my life to you. How about that? Qin Feng spoke again, after a moment of silence. Zhang Hua and the surrounding rich young masters were instantly interested. These people were always idle and liked to gamble when they had nothing to do. Okay, what do you want to bet? Zhang Hua shouted with suppressed excitement. Anything is fine. You decide. Qin Feng said indifferently. Zhang Hua thought for a while and picked out his strongest skill in gambling. Then let's play cards. Qin Feng didn't hesitate at all. No problem. Do you want to increase the stakes? It's more fun this way. Qin Feng was leading Zhang Hua step by step into the pit. Not only did Zhang Hua not notice, he even jumped in with a face full of excitement. Haha. Of course we have to increase the stakes. Other than your life, if you have anything else, I'll definitely follow you to the end. Zhang Hua was a famous little king of gambling in this area. Previously, he had specially learned from the gold medal dealer of Hong Kong's Dafu Casino, Second Master He. Speaking of Second Master He's gambling skills, he was also very good. He was ranked 32nd in the country in gambling skills. He was famous for his quick eyesight and superb card memorization ability. However, Hong Kong no longer had Dafu Casino, because Qin Feng defeated the Wei family in the last Gambling King Conference, and defeated all the gambling experts from all over the world. In the end, he won the title of the new king of gambling. As for that second master he wasn't even worthy of cleaning Qin Feng's shoes. However, Zhang Hua and these rich young beauties didn't know about this. Only Li knew. Everyone knew that Zhang Hua was a gambling expert. When they saw that Qin Feng actually dared to gamble with Zhang Hua, they all revealed expressions of schadenfreude and looked at Qin Feng. Since Qin Feng wanted to gamble, he naturally had to play big. Otherwise, wasting time on trash like Zhang Hua wasn't worth it. After looking around, Qin Feng's gaze finally fell on Lucy. He chuckled and said, "How about this? I'll use Sister Lucy's family's gold mine to wager with you. Do you dare to use your gold mine as a wager?" Whoosh! Qin Feng's words stunned everyone. The incessant chatter instantly turned into absolute silence. Zhang Hua's eyeballs almost popped out. He thought there was something wrong with his ears. Lucy even slipped and almost fell. Was there something wrong with this Qin Feng? Why would he use his family's gold mine to bet? Haha. Did I hear wrong? You brat said you want to use Lucy's family's gold mine to bet with me? Are you crazy? After Zhang Hua regained his senses, he laughed until his stomach hurt. Do you think you're Lucy's man? Even if you're Lucy's man, you have no right to use her father's gold mine to bet. Don't talk so much nonsense. Just tell me, do you dare to bet or not? Qin Feng acted as if he didn't see Zhang Hua's mockery. This time, before Zhang Hua could speak, Lucy angrily walked out. Qin Feng, what nonsense are you talking about? What does my family's gold mine have to do with you? What right do you have to bet with my family's gold mine? Lucy was really angered to death by Qin Feng. She even thought that Qin Feng was a little crazy. Lucy was very clear about Zhang Hua's gambling skills. She didn't think that Qin Feng could win against Zhang Hua. This was a bet that Qin Feng would definitely lose. Lucy couldn't use her gold mine to let Qin Feng lose. Qin Feng didn't care. He only wanted to help Lucy because of Li Ye. If this woman didn't appreciate it, then Qin Feng wouldn't help her. Darling, do you really want to bet? Li Ye suddenly jumped into Qin Feng's embrace excitedly. She had personally seen Qin Feng ascend to the top of the Gambling King's title, and was full of praise for Qin Feng's gambling skills. She really wanted to see Qin Feng display them again. Seeing Qin Feng nod his head, Li Ye excitedly rushed to Lucy's side, and danced with joy as she said to Lucy, "Sister Lucy, you really made a fortune. My darling is actually willing to help you bet. Quickly bet all of your family's wealth on Qin Feng. He will definitely help you double it." Previously, everyone thought that Qin Feng was crazy, but now, everyone thought that Li Ye was also crazy. Lucy slapped her forehead, her face full of helplessness. She already didn't know what to say to Li Ye. Lucy felt that Li Ye had really been brainwashed by Qin Feng, and had already become a woman with a negative IQ. "Xiaoye, stop messing around, this matter is very serious." Lucy glared at Li Ye fiercely. If it was a normal matter, she could let Li Ye mess around, but facing Zhang Hua, Lucy had no choice. Li Ye's face was serious and firm. She did not seem to be joking at all. "Sister Lucy, I'm not messing around with you. It's rare for my darling to make a move. The last time he made a move was during the Hong Kong Gambling King competition a long time ago. Just listen to me. Hurry up and bet all of your family's wealth. My darling will definitely help you win it back." Others might not believe Qin Feng, but Leah believed in Qin Feng 10,000 times, because only she had seen Qin Feng's true methods. Hearing Leah talk about the Hong Kong Gambling King competition, Zhang Hua and the group of people laughed until they bent over. She had known Leah for so long, and in her impression, Leah was a woman who was always calm and collected. Otherwise, she wouldn't have been able to get to the position of senior inspector in the police world. Lucy pulled Leah to the side and said in a low voice, "Xiaoya, don't trick big sister. Is that Qin Feng really that powerful?" Leah said with incomparable seriousness, "Sister Lucy, I know you still don't believe me, but do you believe in me? If you believe in my character, then do as Qin Feng says. I promise I won't let Sister Lucy suffer a loss." When Leah said these words, Lucy's heart started to waver. Her big eyes fell on Qin Feng, and once again sized up this seemingly ordinary man. After looking for a long time, Lucy still could not see anything special about Qin Feng. "Stinking brat, Lucy won't help you bet. I think you should just bet your life. If you lose, your life will be mine, and if you win, haha, you can't win at all." Zhang Hua was already impatient, and looked like he was about to start the bet immediately. However, at this moment, Lucy gritted her teeth and stepped forward. "Zhang Hua, I'll bet gold mine number 2 on Qin Feng. Do you dare to bet gold mine number 1? Chapter 1178. Lucy's words stunned everyone. Even the smile on Zhang Hua's face froze. Most of the people present knew about the gold mine number 1 and gold mine number 2. They were one of the most profitable projects under Zhang Hua and Lucy's father. Especially the gold mine number 1 under Zhang Hua's father. It produced the highest amount of gold every year, followed by the gold mine number 2 under Lucy's father. These two gold mines were worth at least tens of billions. Yet Lucy dared to take them out and bet on Qin Feng? "Lucy, you're telling the truth?" Zhang Hua recovered with great difficulty, and looked at Lucy with a face full of excitement. Lucy regretted her words. This was a project worth tens of billions. If she really lost it, her father would die of anger. Aye. Lucy hesitated whether she should go back on her words or not. But Zhang Hua beat her to it and said, "Haha, Sister Lucy is famous among the rich and powerful in South Africa. She's a woman of her word. Her words are like water that has been spilled. Of course she won't lie. Don't you think so, Sister Lucy?" Zhang Hua looked at Lucy with a smirk. He had forced Lucy into a dead end. The crowd gasped. "There's going to be a big show today. Let's bet. Who's afraid of who?" Lucy would either lose her face or the gold mine today. She was so angry that she lost her mind and agreed to Zhang Hua's bet. Zhang Hua saw that his provocation worked and laughed so hard that his intestines were about to pop out. "Haha. All right, everyone heard it. Sister Lucy wants to bet with me. If she loses and goes back on her words, everyone can be my witness." Zhang Hua was arrogant and conceited when he mentioned gambling. He was the disciple of Hong Kong's top dealer, second master He. He had never lost to anyone in South Africa. After Lucy said those angry words, she immediately regretted it so much that her intestines turned green. She felt that she was still too immature, and could not keep her cool at all. But since things had come to this, Lucy couldn't go back on her words. She couldn't afford to lose her face in front of so many rich young masters and beautiful women. "All right, since everyone has agreed on it, let's get started." Qin Feng, who had long been forgotten by everyone, suddenly spoke. Everyone looked at Qin Feng with an expression of schadenfreude. No one was optimistic about him. Seeing Qin Feng so anxious to lose, everyone couldn't help but roar with laughter. "Hee. Since you want to be defeated by me so much, then I'll fulfill your wish." Zhang Hua was grinning from ear to ear. He had already sat down under a parasol. A rich young master immediately brought over an unopened deck of cards. Qin Feng also sat down next to him. Everyone gathered around with excited looks on their faces, as if they were the ones who were going to gamble. Lucy, on the other hand, was not excited. Her heart began to beat faster, and she stood beside Qin Feng, praying silently. "Darling, you can do it." Only Leah was optimistic about Qin Feng. She clenched her fist and smiled brightly at Qin Feng. That smile had bewitched everyone and made their hearts itch. "I'll teach you a lesson later." Zhang Hua's good mood suddenly disappeared. He could not understand. What did Li Yi see in Qin Feng? From start to finish, Qin Feng's expression was indifferent. He looked at Zhang Hua and said, "What cards do you plan to play? Let's play the simplest competition. This young master can't be bothered to waste time with trash like you." Zhang Hua said coldly. Qin Feng did not have any objections. Instead, it was exactly what he wanted. He did not want to waste time with someone like Zhang Hua. After the game was set, Li Yi ran over to deal the cards to the two of them. She was wearing a yellow bikini and was extremely eye-catching, causing a group of rich young masters to secretly glance at her. Zhang Hua looked at Li Yi from a close distance and was so excited that his nose was about to bleed. Li Yi's body was emitting a faint fragrance. Her figure was simply golden, and her long legs were about to reach her neck. "Darling, I'll give you a lucky kiss." Just as Zhang Hua was watching excitedly, Li Yi suddenly hugged Qin Feng's neck and took the initiative to kiss him. Qin Feng slapped the little demoness, but causing everyone to be extremely envious. "Humph. After I win, your life will be mine. I'll help you take care of the beauty Xiaoya. I'll let you draw the cards first." Zhang Hua was angered to death by Qin Feng's actions. He also wanted to touch Li Yi, but he did not dare to. Qin Feng did not care about Zhang Hua's ruthless words at all. He treated it as a wild dog barking. Qin Feng did not waste any time and casually took the nearest card in front of him. "I'm done." Seeing Qin Feng draw his trump card, a playful smile immediately appeared on Zhang Hua's face. As second master He's personal disciple, Zhang Hua had also learned some real skills. He was extremely good at memorizing cards, and the order of the cards was all in Zhang Hua's mind. Qin Feng had drawn a 3 of hearts, which was considered a very small card in this game of small and small cards. "Hee. Any random card I draw is bigger than yours." Zhang Hua gloatingly stared at Qin Feng. It looked like he had casually drawn a trump card, but in reality, it was the king's card in his memory. In the game of big and small, the cards were bigger from ace to big king. Now that Zhang Hua drew a king's card, he did not care about Qin Feng at all. "Since we're done, let's reveal our cards," Qin Feng said indifferently. He felt that he did not care about this game at all. The group of rich young masters and bikini-clad beauties shook their heads and snickered. Even though they had not revealed their cards, they already knew that Qin Feng had lost. Some of Sister Lucy's close friends were so angry that they stamped their feet. They felt that Qin Feng was too much of a scumbag for not taking Sister Lucy's Jinquang seriously. "Wait!" Just when Qin Feng was about to reveal his cards, Lucy suddenly shouted, "Qin Feng, do you want to choose another card? Can you be more serious?" Lucy stood beside Qin Feng, watching the game with trepidation. As a big sister of China and South Africa, Lucy had naturally come into contact with card gambling. Even she could remember part of the order of the cards. Lucy knew that Qin Feng drew a 3 of hearts, but what card did Zhang Hua draw? Lucy really could not remember. "Lucy, what do you mean by this? Don't you know the rule of not chewing when looking at cards? As an outsider, you'd better recognize your current position." Zhang Hua looked at Lucy coldly. He was not afraid that Qin Feng would change his cards. Even if Qin Feng changed his cards 52 times, he would still lose. Zhang Hua purposely took this opportunity to reprimand Lucy. Qin Feng waved his hand indifferently and said, "Sister Lucy, I won't change my cards. My trump card is very powerful." Lucy was already angry after being reprimanded by Zhang Hua. After hearing Qin Feng's words, she was so angry that she wanted to vomit blood. Does this brat even know how to play cards? He just drew a 3 of hearts, and he said it was a high card? You really piss me off. If I lose this game, I'll make you pay." Lucy's beautiful eyes were filled with despair. Even she felt that Qin Feng was going to lose this round. Moreover, Qin Feng's defeat meant that her father's number 2 gold mine would be given to Zhang Hua. Lucy's mind was no longer on the game. She was thinking about how to tell her father about this. "Sister Lucy, don't worry. Qin Feng won't lose." Only Li Yi thought highly of Qin Feng. From the beginning to the end, Li Yi had a bright smile on her face. She did not look worried at all. Lucy really could not understand Li Yi's thoughts. She also wanted Qin Feng to win, but based on the current situation, it was impossible for Qin Feng to win. Don't comfort me. He will definitely lose this game. Lucy complained with a cold face. However, Leah smiled and hugged Lucy's arm. Sister Lucy, how about we make a bet? If Qin Feng wins this round, you'll have to kiss him in front of everyone to repay my darling. Whoosh! Leah's words caused a burst of exclamations. Everyone looked at Leah in astonishment. This time, everyone was sure that there was something wrong with this woman's brain. How could she help her boyfriend find a woman? Lucy was startled. She suddenly recalled the moment when she was forcefully kissed by Qin Feng at the airport. A blush appeared on her cold and charming face, and her tender and alluring appearance made everyone's eyes pop out. Heh, I actually hope that brat wins. If he really wins, so what if I kiss him? Lucy also said these words out of anger, because she was sure that Qin Feng would lose this round. Qin Feng was leisurely lying on the chair, secretly looking at Leah with admiration. This girl's awareness was very high. Everyone's attention was originally on the game and Zhang Hua. But this time, it landed on the two beauties. Zhang Hua immediately gritted his teeth and roared at Qin Feng. Brat, I'll let you open your cards first. A shout pulled everyone's attention back to the table. Leah and Lucy also stared at the cards in Qin Feng's hands. Pa. Qin Feng still had an indifferent attitude. He casually flipped over his cards, and a 3 of hearts fell on the table. Haha. A 3, this guy's luck is too bad. Your father touched it bigger than him. Umph. I already said that this guy would lose. I guessed that this would be the result before the game even started. Sigh. Poor Sister Lucy. How could she be so muddle-headed as to believe this brat? That's a gold mine. When Qin Feng revealed his cards, the surroundings immediately burst into an uproar. When Zhang Hua saw the 3 of hearts, he was so happy that he couldn't close his mouth. This was exactly the same card he had predicted. Lucy felt as if she was struck by lightning, and her heart sank to the bottom. A gold mine was lost just like that. Tears welled up in Lucy's big eyes. Even Leah couldn't remain calm at this moment. She thought that Qin Feng would immediately pull out a king and completely win the game. When she saw the 3, Leah even suspected that Qin Feng's hands had rusted after not playing for a long time. Darling, what's going on? Leah saw that Sister Lucy was secretly wiping away her tears. She immediately felt guilty. Chapter 1179. Leah, who was trembling with fear a second ago, calmed down when she saw Qin Feng's smile. She knew that everything was under Qin Feng's control. Sister Lucy, don't worry. Qin Feng will definitely win. Leah quickly comforted Lucy. Lucy thought that Leah was just comforting her. She was still depressed and did not speak to Leah. Zhang Hua was already convulsing with laughter. Never in his wildest dreams did he expect that he would win a gold mine in just one game. Lucy's family's second gold mine was a strong competitor to Zhang Hua's family's first gold mine. Both of them had a similar gold production rate every year, and both of them were competing to sell their gold to China. Now that Zhang Hua had won the second gold mine, the Zhang family would monopolize the gold mining business in South Africa and China. Haha. Sister Lucy, you lost this game. When are you going to give me the gold mine? Should I call my dad now and ask him to come over and sign the contract? Zhang Hua had not even flipped his cards, but he acted as if he had already won. However, no one cared whether Zhang Hua flipped his cards or not because in everyone's mind, Zhang Hua had already won. Lucy stood at the side and bit her lip so hard that it almost broke. She felt a wave of regret in her heart. She had been too impulsive before. Now, she had lost the number 2 gold mine that her dad had worked so hard to develop for more than 10 years. If her dad knew about this, he would definitely faint from anger. Io! Sister Lucy, why aren't you saying anything? Are you going to go back on your words? Sister Lucy is not someone who goes back on her words. Zhang Hua had always been at odds with Lucy. This was a rare opportunity for him to gain the upper hand. He was so pleased with himself that he almost flew to the sky. Who said I'm going to go back on my words? It's just a second gold mine. Wait, I'll call my dad first and tell him about the situation. Lucy was indeed not someone who went back on her words. Although she was extremely regretful, since she had agreed to this game, She had to face the consequences no matter how serious it was. Seeing that Lucy's lonely figure was fading away, Qin Feng suddenly smiled and said, "Sister Lucy, where are you going? You haven't lost this game, so why are you calling me?" If Qin Feng did not speak, he would have been forgotten by everyone. Everyone looked at Qin Feng in unison, but all of them had a mocking and contemptuous sneer on their faces. Lucy's face was also cold. She really couldn't figure out what Qin Feng wanted to do. Haha, Qin Feng, oh Qin Feng, you still say you haven't lost? You want to beat me with that Zhang Xiasanzi? Dream on. Zhang Hua mocked Qin Feng without the slightest scruple. Qin Feng's expression didn't change. Cut the crap. Show me your trump card, and everything will be clear. Qin Feng looked at Zhang Hua indifferently. Zhang Hua started to not understand Qin Feng. He didn't know where this brat got his calmness from. After staring blankly for a moment, Zhang Hua laughed loudly. He didn't believe that he would lose to Qin Feng even if he was beaten to death. Brat, open your dog eyes wide and take a good look. This daddy's trump card is King Zhang. Pa! Zhang Hua forcefully flung his card and flipped it over. Dozens of pairs of eyes stared fixedly at the card that Zhang Hua flipped over. Instantly, they were so shocked that their eyeballs fell to the ground. It was as if time had stopped. Those mocking voices suddenly stopped, and the air was so cold that it almost froze. Zhang Hua finally realized that something was wrong. He subconsciously looked towards the table. When he saw that he had flipped over the smallest ace of hearts, he was so scared that his heart almost jumped out of his throat. Fuck. Where's this daddy's king? How did it become an ace of hearts? Zhang Hua let out a strange cry. No one understood the situation. Did Zhang Hua lose this round? How could young Master Zhang lose? Only Leah regained her senses first. She was not surprised by this result. Qin Feng was the international gambling king. A mere Zhang Hua was nothing. Big sister Lucy, you won. Qin Feng helped you win a gold mine. Looking at Lucy, who was still immersed in shock, Leah hurriedly shook her arm. Lucy finally regained her senses, but she still couldn't believe the reality in front of her. We won. Xiaoya, did we really win? Lucy's sexy body was trembling. She was just about to call her father. But who would have thought that Qin Feng would actually win? This sudden change in situation happened too quickly and too fiercely. When everyone was still in a daze, Qin Feng chuckled and walked to Lucy's side, tyrannically pulling Lucy into his embrace. A wave of masculine air floated into Lucy's nose, causing her heart to beat faster. Her body felt like it was about to burn. This was the first time Lucy had such intimate contact with a man. She felt that Qin Feng's strength was boundless, and his chest was as broad as the sea. What are you doing? Lucy was so nervous that she didn't dare to breathe. Qin Feng blew hot air into her ear and said, Big sister Lucy, if I remember correctly, you owe me a hot kiss right now. Lucy's entire body trembled, and she was so scared that she almost turned around and ran away. Previously, she did say that as long as Qin Feng won, she would give him a kiss in front of everyone. But that was Lucy's angry words, because she never thought that Qin Feng would win. Now that the matter was in front of her, the usually cold and arrogant Lucy was as nervous as a frightened little deer. She had never been scared to this extent by a man. You dare. Lucy tried to break free from Qin Feng, but she couldn't break free at all. She could only pretend to be calm and try to shock Qin Feng. However, just as her voice fell, her fragrant lips were blocked, and Qin Feng had already kissed her wildly. Woo-woo. You woo-woo. Lucy struggled for a while, but soon she was stunned on the spot. This was her second kiss, but it was her first hot kiss, and it was a hot kiss in front of everyone. Qin Feng was skilled, and quickly brought Lucy into an illusion. The feeling was very strange, and Lucy even forgot to resist. Instead, she somewhat cooperated with Qin Feng. The crowd still hadn't woken up from the fact that Qin Feng had defeated Zhang Hua, and now they were immersed in the shock of Qin Feng kissing big sister Lucy in front of everyone. Leah, however, covered her mouth and secretly laughed. She didn't seem to be jealous at all. While Qin Feng kissed, his hands naughtily touched. Lucy finally came to her senses and used all her strength to push Qin Feng away. She felt that she had been touched by Qin Feng. You dare to force a kiss on me? Lucy angrily stared at Qin Feng. Qin Feng, however, had a smile on his face. How is it a forced kiss? You promised me to kiss you. I was only fulfilling your wish. You little hoodlum. Lucy was quite angry at Qin Feng, but she had no words to refute, because what Qin Feng said was the truth. It was indeed Lucy who made a bet with Li Ya. The beauty had kissed, and the game had been won. Qin Feng looked at Zhang Hua, who was still in a daze, with satisfaction and said, You lost, hurry up and give number 1 gold mine to Lucy for free. Zhang Hua suddenly woke up. He looked at the cards on the table, and still couldn't accept this fact. Zhang Hua was not an idiot, and quickly calmed down and began to recall. Because he was arrogant, he didn't pay much attention to Qin Feng. Could it be that Qin Feng secretly changed the cards? Brat, you dare to cheat? Do you believe that I won't find someone to kill you? Zhang Hua had always refused to admit his losses, and ordinary people couldn't do anything to him. But this time, he met Qin Feng, so Qin Feng wouldn't let this brat go. You want to act shamelessly after losing? I can kill you right now. As Qin Feng spoke, his body emitted surging true qi. This qi seemed to descend from the sky, and Zhang Hua was so frightened that he fell on his butt. The group of rich young masters and bikini beauties were ordinary people. So how could they withstand the pressure of true qi? Many of them retreated a few steps and stayed far away from Qin Feng. Don't act recklessly. I can give away number 1 gold mine. But this game wasn't satisfying enough. Do you dare to play another round with me? Zhang Hua realized that he had underestimated his opponent. How could he let it go? He had to win the gold mine again. A cold smile flashed across Qin Feng's face. If someone was willing to jump into the fire pit, Qin Feng naturally wouldn't stop him. Sure. Tell me, what do you want to bet this time? Qin Feng looked at Zhang Hua with a smile. I'll bet Dad's number 1 gold mine with you. If you lose, return number 1 gold mine to me. Zhang Hua said coldly. Gasps of surprise came from all around. Number 1 gold mine and number 1 gold mine were the 2 most powerful businesses in Zhang Tianhua's dad's hands. Zhang Tianhua really threw caution to the wind. Qin Feng, I don't want to bet anymore. Without waiting for Qin Feng to agree, Lucy ran over. After the passionate kiss, Lucy's gaze towards Qin Feng had changed. She used to be cold, but now, she had a hint of tenderness. Big sister Lucy, are you stupid? Don't you want the free oil field? Leah covered her forehead and looked at Lucy speechlessly. Lucy wasn't stupid, she was scared. Although Qin Feng won the first round, Lucy and everyone else thought that Qin Feng was just lucky. Moreover, Zhang Hua was obviously serious. If they continued to bet, Qin Feng would definitely lose. Little ya, don't play anymore. It's already good enough to earn a gold mine. If you continue to play, you'll definitely lose. Lucy had already calmed down and spoke with an unquestionable tone. Zhang Hua immediately became anxious. He yelled at Qin Feng. Stinking brat, don't tell me you're afraid of me after 1 round? Hurry up and continue the game with me. If I lose, I'll give you an oil field. Don't you want it? Zhang Hua began to tempt Qin Feng. Qin Feng was amused. Lucy, I'll bet with him again, and help you win an oil field. Qin Feng naturally wouldn't back down. He looked at Lucy with a smile. Lucy stomped her feet anxiously. She felt that Qin Feng was already on cloud 9. No, I said I don't want to bet, so I don't want to bet. This time Lucy's attitude was firm. She wouldn't play no matter what. Seeing that the show was over, everyone was disappointed. Zhang Hua was so anxious that he almost jumped up and down. But at this time, Qin Feng grabbed Lucy and pulled her into his arms. Then he spanked her perky buttocks and reprimanded. You bitch, I said I'll bet, so you just listen to me. Qin Feng suddenly became incomparably domineering. Everyone was dumbfounded. She was the big sister of China's rich and powerful in South Africa. How could she be spanked by Qin Feng in public? Lucy's charming face blushed. She wanted to stomp Qin Feng to death. Chapter 1180. Under Qin Feng's forceful attitude, Lucy didn't dare to speak anymore. Everyone was dumbstruck. Qin Feng, who was looked down upon by everyone, suddenly became the center of attention. Zhang Hua was not happy that Qin Feng had agreed to the bet. Whether it was Lucy or Leah, they were both women that Zhang Hua fancied. However, he had never even hugged a girl before. Yet, Qin Feng hugged Leah in public and kissed Lucy. This brat was even more eye-catching than him. Let's start. Zhang Hua sat down on the chair with a cold face, and no longer spoke nonsense. He was going to be serious this time. He had to regain his lost face and dignity. Qin Feng, why you really want to bet? Seeing that Zhang Hua had already sat down, Lucy became nervous again. She had a feeling that Qin Feng would lose this round. However, Lucy's attitude changed drastically. Before, she was forcefully asking Qin Feng not to play, but now, she was begging Qin Feng. What's wrong? You don't believe me? Qin Feng was very satisfied with Lucy's change, and looked at her with a smile. Lucy really didn't believe Qin Feng, but she couldn't say it out loud. She was afraid of hurting Qin Feng's self-esteem. How about this, if I win this round, you can sleep in my room tonight. Qin Feng looked at Lucy with a smirk. Qin Feng's voice was neither loud nor soft, so many people heard it. Everyone looked at Lucy with a surprised expression, making Lucy embarrassed. I don't want to. How could Lucy agree? She was about to refuse when Qin Feng interrupted her. All right, it's decided then. Be a good girl and stay aside. Don't affect my performance. Otherwise, don't blame me if you lose the gold mine. Qin Feng settled the matter in a few words. Lucy's sexy red lips opened and closed, but no words came out. Leah giggled. She guessed that big sister Lucy would fall into Qin Feng's evil clutches, but she didn't expect it to happen so soon. Qin Feng and Zhang Hua were already seated, and it was Leah who dealt the cards. Just like the last round, Qin Feng leaned back in his chair and leisurely drank his juice. From start to finish, he didn't even glance at the cards. It was as if the game had nothing to do with him. In this round, Zhang Hua sat upright and still. His eyes were glued to every card. When the cards were shuffled and spread out, Zhang Hua was secretly happy. This round he clearly remembered all the cards, and was sure that Qin Feng didn't change cards. Whoosh! Zhang Hua extended his hand and pulled Big King back. For the sake of safety, he didn't dare to let Qin Feng draw his card first. Brat, it's your turn. After touching Big King, Zhang Hua's heart completely calmed down, and he impatiently looked at Qin Feng. Qin Feng didn't even look at the cards and casually drew one. In the blink of an eye, he swapped the card he drew with Zhang Hua's. With Qin Feng's current level of true qi, the speed of his hands was so fast that it was impossible to see anything. Even if Zhang Hua stared closely at Qin Feng, he still couldn't see anything. Haha, brat, you're dead for sure this round. Your elder is a big king. As soon as Qin Feng drew his card, Zhang Hua immediately jumped up in excitement. This round, he didn't wait for Qin Feng to flip his card first. He already flipped his hand over his hidden card. Pa! The cards fell on the table, and everyone's jaws dropped to the ground in shock. Zhang Hua's smile instantly froze on his face. How did his big king card turn into a 4 of hearts? Yo, little 4. Seriously, you always use small cards to scare everyone, and say you drew big king. Do you think we're stupid? Qin Feng already knew Zhang Hua's hidden card. He looked at the 4 of hearts and laughed. Zhang Hua's eyes fell on the table. He couldn't come back to his senses for a while. He couldn't understand what was going on today. The card in his memory was clearly Big King. Why did it change every time he flipped it over? Ah, Qin Feng, you'll definitely win this round, right? Lucy thought Qin Feng was going to lose. However, when she saw Zhang Hua flip the 4 of hearts, she was instantly filled with hope for Qin Feng. She excitedly ran up and hugged Qin Feng's arm. Whether I can win or not depends on big sister Lucy. If I win, you have to come to my room tonight. If you're willing, I'll win. If not, I'll just lose. Qin Feng looked at Lucy with a smirk on his face, and Lucy's beautiful face immediately became flushed. Leah was so amused that she bent over in laughter. Everyone stared at Lucy, waiting for this big sister's answer. Then you win. After a moment of silence, Lucy said something that shocked everyone. Previously, Qin Feng forced Lucy to sleep with him, but now, Lucy requested to go to Qin Feng's room at night. Since big sister Lucy likes me so much, I'll fulfill your wish. Qin Feng's words made everyone completely speechless. This person was really thick-skinned. Lucy stomped her feet in anger, but she couldn't say anything. If she angered Qin Feng, and he purposely lost this round, it would be troublesome. Pa. Qin Feng casually swung his hand, and his trump card appeared on the table. It was the king that Zhang Hua couldn't call for a long time. The atmosphere was silent again. Even if everyone was stupid, they could see that Qin Feng was the real gambling king. Wow! He won again, he really won again. Qin Feng, you're too awesome. Lucy's eyes lit up. She was so excited that she hugged Qin Feng and jumped up. Zhang Hua, on the other hand, had a mournful face as if someone died in his family. No, you must have cheated. This round doesn't count. Zhang Hua suddenly slammed the table. He lost a gold mine and an oil field. If his father found out, he would definitely kill him. Lucy came out of Qin Feng's embrace and suddenly glared at Zhang Hua with a cold face. Zhang, are you going to act shamelessly? When I thought I lost earlier, I was about to call my dad. Zhang Hua's heart was filled with guilt. It took a lot of courage to act shamelessly in front of big sister Lucy and Qin Feng. Then I have to talk to my dad about this. I'll go back first. I'll look for you after I'm done talking. Zhang Hua saw the opportunity to escape, but Lucy saw through this brat's trick. She lightly clapped her hands, and 4 strong men dressed in black walked out and blocked Zhang Hua's way. Zhang Hua, today you and I made a bet in front of everyone. You lost 2 rounds in a row. If you don't transfer the shares of the oil field and gold mine to me, I won't let you leave. Lucy had regained her usual cold arrogance and dominance. She deserved her position as the big sister for a reason. Lucy, I advise you not to push things too far. We were just having fun. How could we really bet on the gold mine and oil field? Even if you lose today, I won't take your assets. Zhang Hua began to find all kinds of excuses for himself. His ugly face caused everyone to shake their heads secretly. Lucy sneered. She wanted to say something, but Qin Feng pulled her behind him. Fine. You go back first. We'll give you 3 days. If you can't finish the contract and transfer the shares within 3 days, I'll make the Zhang family regret it. Qin Feng had a look of indifference on his face. He had dealt with too many big families in China, and people like Zhang Hua were nothing to Qin Feng. Lucy was anxious. She knew Zhang Hua too well. If she let him go now, he would never admit to the bet. Qin Feng, don't let him go. Lucy reminded Qin Feng in a low voice. Qin Feng waved his hand indifferently. I said let him go. You don't have to say any more. This was Lucy's territory. Not long ago, Lucy had looked down on Qin Feng in all sorts of ways, and even wanted to separate Qin Feng and Liya. But at this moment, Qin Feng seemed to be the owner of this place, and even Lucy did not dare to object to his words. However, Lucy was disappointed. She didn't believe that Qin Feng could do anything to Zhang Hua, or the Zhang family in the future. This was South Africa, and the Zhang family was the boss in this area. Confused and nervous, Zhang Hua left quickly. He was still in a daze when he walked out of Lucy's villa. Qin Feng let him go just like that? Qin Feng and Lucy, when I get back, I'll find someone to kill you. I'll let you know whose territory South Africa belongs to. After escaping from Lucy's mansion, Zhang Hua became fierce again. He immediately drove his Ferrari and sped away. Zhang Hua had been gone for a long time, but everyone was still in a daze. They couldn't understand why Qin Feng let Zhang Hua go just like that. Qin Feng, Zhang Hua will definitely go back on his words. You won for nothing today. Lucy was somewhat unhappy. She glared at Qin Feng charmingly. Qin Feng grabbed Lucy and pulled her into his arms. You don't have to worry about what will happen next. Remember, our bet is still on. Just remember to come and find me tonight. Lucy blushed and quickly struggled out of Qin Feng's embrace. She could no longer understand Qin Feng. This seemingly ordinary and low-key man seemed to have countless secrets hidden within him. Zhang Hua's appearance today became a joke. Everyone regained their senses and gathered together to have a good time. Occasionally they would discuss what happened just now. Qin Feng and Liya were sunbathing on a chair. Lucy was also lying beside them. Previously, she was too lazy to look at Qin Feng, but now, she would secretly peek at him. Damn, Natago is here. Suddenly, a cry came from the crowd. Then, everyone tensed up and looked toward the entrance of the villa. A tall and sturdy black man walked in with 2 rows of bodyguards behind him. These bodyguards were armed with guns, and they looked like they were going to war. Lucy's expression changed when she saw the man. She went to greet him personally. "Nadigo, you're here." Nadigo stopped in front of Lucy. He took off his sunglasses and stared at Lucy's chest with his inverted triangular eyes. Suddenly, he reached out and pulled Lucy into his arms. "Ah, Nadigo, come in and take a seat." Lucy knew about Nadigo's evil behavior, so she was always on guard against him. When she saw Nadigo coming to hug her, she took 2 steps back and dodged. "Lucy, what do you mean by this? Can't I hug you? You're so arrogant." Lucy lived on the island of Madagascar in South Africa. This island was rich in tourist resources. The locals all spoke Hakka, but English and French were also commonly used. Nada was the #1 boss of Madagascar. Even Zhang Hua and Lucy had to lower their heads in front of him. After all, this was his territory. Chapter 1181. Lucy could feel that Nada had come with ill intentions. She was burning with anger. She didn't dare to fall out with Nada, but she couldn't obey him either. "What are you waiting for? Come into my arms." Nada's patience had run out. He glared at Lucy. Lucy furrowed her brows and looked at Qin Feng. She didn't know what was wrong with her. At this critical moment, the first person she thought of was Qin Feng. "Haha, brother Nada, I already have a man. I'm too embarrassed to hug you. We Chinese women are very conservative. We can only have intimate contact with our man." Lucy had no choice but to use Qin Feng to block Nada. Nada's face turned cold. He yelled in English, "Which man is tired of living? How dare he snatch the woman I like? Point out your man. I'll shoot him now. Then, you won't have a man and you can be with me." As the #1 boss of Madagascar, Nada was like a local tyrant. He would never give up on a woman he liked. If the soft way didn't work, he would use the hard way. Behind Nada, 8 strong men stood in 2 rows. Each of them held a machine gun. Their stance was intimidating. The arrogant young masters and rich heiresses shrunk their necks and shivered. They were even more afraid than when they saw Zhang Hua. Lucy's gaze swept through the crowd. Every time she looked at someone, they would panic. Everyone was afraid that Lucy would suddenly pull them out and use them as a shield. That would be sending them to their deaths. The atmosphere suddenly froze. It was so quiet that the sound of a pin dropping could be heard. Lucy looked around, but didn't point out who her man was. She originally wanted to use Qin Feng as a shield. However, when she saw that Nada was going to kill that man, she didn't have the heart to harm Qin Feng. "Brother Nada, my man has something to do today. He's not here." Lucy sighed. Nada immediately laughed. "Haha, he's not here. Then he doesn't need to come anymore. Tonight I'll satisfy you. After you experience my power, you won't like your previous man anymore." As a big shot, Nada spoke in an arrogant and despotic manner. He did not need to care at all. These frivolous words made Lucy's face turn red. She wanted to rush up and slap Nada in the face, but she didn't dare to do so. If she really fell out with Nada, Lucy's father would not be able to continue doing business in South Africa. He might even lose his life. "Brother Nadas, please spare me. I have a good relationship with my man. If you need women, I can introduce some to you." Lucy was so scared that she kept retreating. Nada's patience had long since run out. A sneer flashed across his face, and he suddenly opened his arms and pounced on Lucy. "I don't like other women. Today I want you." "Ah!" Behind Lucy was the swimming pool, and she had nowhere to retreat. She held her hands in front of her chest and began to scream. She felt that no one could save her today. However, after screaming for a long time, Lucy realized that she was not being hugged by anyone. Instead, she heard the sound of someone falling into the water. Lucy hurriedly opened her eyes and was instantly shocked by the scene in front of her. Nada had fallen into the water and was cursing in the local Hakka language. A tall and sturdy figure was standing beside Lucy. It was Qin Feng. Although Lucy did not see how Nada fell into the water, she could guess that it was Qin Feng who kicked him into the pool. Lucy was scared and touched at the same time. She never thought that the person who stood up to protect her at this critical moment was Qin Feng. "Nada was kicked into the water by you?" Lucy quickly calmed herself down and asked Qin Feng in a low voice. Qin Feng didn't say anything and nodded slightly. Lucy's heart suddenly sank. She secretly pulled Qin Feng to let him go. Hurry and leave with Xiaoya. Nada is a big shot in Madagascar. If you don't leave now, you'll be finished. Lucy knew how powerful Nada was. Even she didn't dare to face Nada alone. However, Qin Feng actually kicked Nada into the pool. Lucy had to stay and clean up the mess. She could almost see herself being ravaged by Nada. However, to save Qin Feng's life, Lucy decided to sacrifice herself. Qin Feng acted as if he didn't hear Lucy's words. He stood beside the pool with his hands behind his back. At this moment, Nada had already swum to the shore. The rich young masters and daughters around him were all terrified and hadn't come back to their senses yet. Nada fell into the water? Qin Feng really kicked him into the water? Did this brat want to die? Damn it, was it you? Nada glared at Qin Feng and roared as soon as he came to the shore. He looked like he wanted to skin Qin Feng alive. Even the 8 lackeys he brought with him were still in a daze. At this moment, they were awakened by Nada's roar. The 8 of them immediately surrounded Qin Feng with their guns. They all stared at Qin Feng in disbelief. This Chinese brat actually dared to attack Big Brother Nada? I don't understand what you're saying. Everyone present was stunned by Nada. They were so scared that they didn't even dare to breathe loudly. Only Qin Feng stood with his hands behind his back with an indifferent expression. It was as if the guns in the hands of the 8 muscular men were nothing to him. Everyone was stunned once again. They couldn't understand Qin Feng at all. Qin Feng was probably the only person in the entire Madagascar who could remain so calm in front of Nada and speak in Nada's bird language. Fussy, what you say? Nada clearly didn't understand Qin Feng's Chinese. However, he was very unhappy with Qin Feng's current attitude. It was as if Qin Feng wasn't afraid of him at all. The 8 lackeys suddenly raised their guns and aimed them at Qin Feng's head. The surrounding people gasped in shock. The rich young masters and the bikini-clad beauties were scared to death. Lucy's heart skipped a beat. She glared at Qin Feng and quickly put on a flattering smile. Big Brother Nada, this is my man. He was just praising you. He said you're handsome and domineering. Nada's heart skipped a beat. Lucy hurriedly held Qin Feng's arm tightly. She was really afraid that Nada's lackeys would suddenly open fire. If they really opened fire, Lucy planned to die together with Qin Feng. Lucy spoke in English, so Nada understood her. His gaze turned cold and landed fiercely on Qin Feng's face. He was sizing Qin Feng up. You fucking dare to steal the woman I like. I want you to immediately kowtow and apologize to me, then scram out of here. Nada's roar was like thunder. Just his aura alone was enough to make everyone choke in fear. A group of people looked at Qin Feng with pity. Even though Qin Feng had defeated Yuan Kai, Zhao Kuan, and even Zhang Hua, none of them were optimistic about Qin Feng's chances of winning against Nada. Nada was the local tyrant here. His subordinates all carried guns. No matter how strong Qin Feng was, could his fists defeat bullets? Lucy was burning with anxiety. Even though she had just met Qin Feng, she understood Qin Feng's personality very well. He was a very proud and aloof man. He couldn't tolerate others challenging his dignity. Lucy was afraid that Qin Feng would suddenly slap Nada again. If that happened, everyone would die. Slap. Just as Lucy was worrying, a muffled sound rang out next to her ear. The atmosphere instantly froze. Everyone stared dumbfoundedly as Qin Feng's slap landed on Nada's face. The surroundings were silent. It was as if time had suddenly stopped at this moment. Everyone's eyes and jaws fell to the ground. Even Nada's 8 lackeys were dumbstruck. Their fingers were placed on the triggers, but it was as if someone had cast a body-freezing spell on them. No one could come back to their senses and pull the trigger. Nada held his swollen face. His eyes widened and stared at Qin Feng in disbelief for a long time. Finally he roared, "Fuck! You dare to hit me? I'll make you die a horrible death." Nada yelled agitatedly in the Hakka language. Even though Qin Feng didn't understand, he could roughly guess what Nada meant. Nada either wanted to kill him, or made him wish he was dead. However, Qin Feng ignored this threat. Ever since he had obtained the Hedonist sovereign system, he had heard hundreds or even thousands of people threaten him like this. As for those who had threatened Qin Feng, They either died or paid a painful price. Big brother Nada, don't shoot. I am willing to be your woman. I just beg you to spare Qin Feng this once. Before the 8 lackeys could react, Lucy couldn't take it anymore. She knew that Qin Feng would definitely die this time. Left with no other choice, Lucy agreed to be with Nada to save Qin Feng's life. Slap! A crisp sound rang out. This time, it landed on Lucy's perky butt. Qin Feng coldly pulled Lucy behind him and said in a low voice, "You're such a playboy. You already agreed to sleep with me tonight. So how could you change your mind? If there's a next time, I won't let you off so easily." Lucy was stunned. She looked at Qin Feng's back, as if he was a towering mountain. Her panicked heart inexplicably calmed down. She couldn't understand Qin Feng anymore. He was the most overbearing man she had ever met. He was even more ruthless than Nada. Everyone was stunned by Qin Feng's words, especially the rich young masters and beauties from Huaxia. They couldn't understand Qin Feng. How did he get the courage to say such words when he was standing under the muzzles of 8 guns? Fuck. You Chinese pig. You don't know your place. Capture him alive. I'll use a knife to cut off his flesh piece by piece and make him wish he was dead. Nada was completely enraged. He ordered his 8 lackeys to capture Lucy. Since Lucy was standing next to Qin Feng, Nada couldn't just open fire. If he killed Lucy, then he would suffer a great loss. Moreover, Qin Feng had really angered Nada. Nada had never been humiliated in Madagascar. Shooting Qin Feng would be letting this brat off easy. Nada wanted to punish Qin Feng bit by bit. Crack. The 8 lackeys were startled. They hung their guns on their bodies, took out their daggers from their pockets, and surrounded Qin Feng. Lucy's heart almost jumped out of her throat when she was shielded by Qin Feng. Chapter 1182. Darling, I'm here. A beautiful figure suddenly appeared. It was Leah, who was holding a military knife and rushing over to help. However, she heard Qin Feng's indifferent voice when she was halfway there. "Xiaoya, go sit at the side." Bang! Before Qin Feng could finish his sentence, a muffled sound was heard. A gust of wind blew past, and everyone's vision was blocked. They could not open their eyes because of the strong wind. Lucy stood in the middle of the gust, but she could not feel the wind at all. She opened her eyes wide, and was stunned by the scene before her. Qin Feng turned into a black shadow and flashed in the wind. Wherever he went, screams could be heard. Bang, bang, bang. The gusts came and went quickly. It was as if nothing had happened in a few breaths' time. Everything was calm and peaceful. However, everyone was dumbfounded. The 8 strong men under Nada were lying on the ground. Their clothes were tattered, and their skin was covered with wounds and bloodstains. It was as if they had fallen into hell. "Do you still want me to beg for mercy?" Qin Feng's voice was cold. He stood at the same spot with his hands behind his back, as if he had never moved. Nada's triangular eyes were wide open. He looked at his men lying in a pool of blood, and then at Qin Feng, who was standing like a pine tree. He even felt like he was dreaming. You dare to hit my men. You don't want to stay in South Africa anymore." Nada was actually afraid of Qin Feng's skills. However, he was a big boss. How could he admit defeat so easily? "You've already hit me, and you still ask such a stupid question? If you're not convinced, you can fight me one-on-one." Qin Feng looked at Nada indifferently. He did not take Nada seriously at all. With Qin Feng's current strength and vision, his opponents were unfathomable powerhouses like Ling Jiotian. His opponents were also mysterious organizations like the Verdant Sect, the Martial Art Alliance, and the Outer Martial Arts World. Nada was just a big boss in Madagascar. People like him could not be offended in the eyes of ordinary people. However, to Qin Feng, he was trash that could be killed with a raise of his hand. Nada was so angry that he gnashed his teeth. He glared at Qin Feng with a sinister expression, but he didn't do anything. After the 8 lackeys fell to the ground, none of them stood up again. They didn't even have the strength to fire a shot. Nada suddenly retreated a few steps. Everyone was confused by his behavior. They thought that this boss had admitted defeat and was preparing to escape. At this moment, Nada suddenly pulled out the gun at his waist and pointed the muzzle at Qin Feng's forehead. "Haha, brat, so what if you're so good at martial arts? I don't believe that your fists are more powerful than bullets." Cries of surprise rang out in the surroundings. It turned out that Nada had played such a trick. Lucy finally came to her senses. She rushed forward and held Qin Feng's arm tightly. She looked at Nada and pleaded, "Big brother Nada, please don't kill Qin Feng. I'm willing to apologize to you. I'll give you as much money as you want." The main reason why Lucy's family could survive in South Africa was because they relied on Nada. Every year, Lucy's father would give Nada tens of millions of dollars in protection fees. Lucy knew that Nada was a money grubber, so she was trying to solve this problem with money. "Bah, do you think I'm a beggar? This bastard injured my lackeys and even dared to attack me. No matter how much money you give him, he still has to die." This time, Nada was really angry. He had been famous in Madagascar for a long time, and it had been many years since he was beaten by someone. Today he was slapped by a Chinese brat. If he didn't kill Qin Feng, how could he continue living in South Africa? Lucy had an anxious look on her face. She didn't know what to do now. The group of rich young masters and bikini beauties didn't dare to speak carelessly either. From the moment Nada appeared, these people were like frightened rabbits. Only Leah had a calm expression as she lay under the parasol and basked in the sun. When Qin Feng told her to sit at the side, Leah did not care about this matter anymore, because she was very clear about Qin Feng's strength and was not worried at all. "Brat, kneel down and kowtow to me. Otherwise, I'll shoot you right now." Earlier, Nada was scared half to death by Qin Feng's strength. Now that he pointed his gun at Qin Feng, he became arrogant again. "Is that so? I'll give you a chance. Throw away your gun and get out of here, and I'll spare your life." Qin Feng could tell that Lucy was afraid of Nada. He also guessed that Lucy's family's business depended on Nada. Thus, Qin Feng gave Lucy some face. Otherwise, he would have killed Nada with a raise of his hand. Qin Feng's words stunned everyone. Everyone looked at him in disbelief. Did this guy grow up eating the guts of a leopard? Nada was stunned. He thought there was something wrong with his ears. The Chinese people he met in South Africa were very obedient, especially when they met a big shot like him. They all had to smile and curry favor with him. However, Qin Feng was clearly not that kind of person. "Fuck. You're crazy. Go and die." Nada was prepared to humiliate Qin Feng first before killing him. However, at this moment, he was so furious that he pulled the trigger. Whoosh! A gust of wind whistled past. However, the sound was very soft, so no one noticed it. The gun in Nada's hand didn't make any sound. Everyone's hearts stopped as they waited for the gunshot. 1 second, 3 seconds, 10 seconds. Half a minute passed, and Nada still hadn't fired. The crowd started to discuss. Everyone looked at Nada in confusion. They didn't know what he was doing. Bang! At this moment, Nada fell to the ground, causing a cloud of dust to rise. There was a line of blood on Nada's neck. As soon as he landed, his head rolled a few meters away and fell into the pool. Splash! The crowd instantly went into an uproar. They were scared to death by this scene. The people who were soaking in the pool swam towards the shore like crazy. It was as if there was a huge shark hiding in the pool. Dead? Nada is dead. The 8 lackeys lying in a pool of blood were shocked. They couldn't accept the reality in front of them. The rich young masters and the bikini-clad beauties were in a mess. They started to run away like crazy. Crazy, crazy. That guy killed Nada. Madagascar is going to be in chaos. How did he kill Nada? I didn't see anything. Let's run. The people from the blood union will definitely come. Sister Lucy is so unlucky. This place is going to be razed to the ground. In just a few minutes, the bustling villa quietened down. The group of rich young masters and beauties had long disappeared. Only Qin Feng, Lucy, and Nada's 8 lackeys were left by the pool. Lucy still hadn't recovered from the shock. Nada actually died in her villa? This matter was too serious. "Darling, what should we do with these 8 people?" Leah jumped to Qin Feng's side. She was much better than Lucy and didn't care about this matter. Qin Feng casually waved his hand. The 8 people who were groaning in pain on the ground instantly stopped breathing. This miraculous move made Lucy's face pale. Even Leah was shocked. "Lucy, find someone to get rid of them." After killing the #1 boss of Madagascar, Qin Feng hugged Leah and went to the recliner to flirt with her. Now that there was no one else in the villa, Qin Feng wanted it to be. Lucy was stunned for a long time. She hurriedly called a few of her trusted subordinates to deal with this matter, and ran to Qin Feng's side. You two should leave quickly. I've already booked the plane tickets. Let's go back now. Hurry. Lucy's expression was cold and serious. Now that Nada was dead, Lucy could imagine the scene of the blood union coming to kill them. If Qin Feng and Leah didn't leave, they would definitely die. Qin Feng hugged Leah with one hand and drank fruit juice with the other. He looked at Lucy like he was on a vacation and said, You really want me to leave? Can you deal with the organization behind Nada if I leave? Lucy was stunned. She thought that Qin Feng only cared about killing Nada. She didn't think that Qin Feng would think about what would happen next. Since that was the case, this guy still dared to kill Nada? What kind of person was he? Xiaoya, who is he? Lucy felt that something was wrong. Leah pulled Lucy to the recliner and lay on the other side of Qin Feng. She laughed and said, Sister Lucy, I told you to get Qin Feng quickly. This guy is China's Green Dragon, the martial arts alliance master, and China's #1 hedonistic young master. Who do you think he is? Leah's words were like lightning striking Lucy. She had stayed in South Africa for too long and didn't know much about China's current situation. However, Lucy had heard of the mysterious ancient martial artists in China. She didn't expect Qin Feng to be one of them. Moreover, he was the leader of the Wuling Alliance. No wonder he had such miraculous martial arts skills. Qin Feng? Young Master Qin? Lucy muttered Qin Feng's name in her heart. Suddenly she exclaimed, He's China's #1 hedonistic young master Qin? Speaking of Qin Feng, many Chinese people who did business overseas might not be familiar with him. This was because he suddenly rose to prominence in the recent half a year. However, speaking of young Master Qin, everyone in China's upper-class circle knew him. When Lucy found out Qin Feng's identity, she was surprised and happy. It was said that young Master Qin could do whatever he wanted in China. No wonder he was so arrogant in South Africa. That's right, big sister Lucy. Isn't my darling young Master Qin? Now do you know how good your little sister is to you? I introduced you to such a good boyfriend. Leah couldn't stop laughing at Lucy's surprised expression. Lucy's heart was filled with shock, and she finally calmed down with great difficulty. She suddenly frowned and looked at the two of them seriously, saying, Young Master Qin, I know you're very powerful in China, but this is Madagascar, South Africa after all. This is Nada's world. If you kill Nada now, the Blood Alliance will come soon. They have powerful weapons as their backing, and it's said that they even have tanks. Chapter 1183. In the end, Lucy was still an ordinary person. She had no way of understanding how powerful a true Qi stage martial artist was. From Lucy's point of view, if the Blood Alliance really sent a fully armed team over, no matter how powerful Qin Feng was, he would still be shot through by a hail of bullets. Qin Feng acted as if he did not hear Lucy's words, and continued to lie on the chair and caress the two girls leisurely. Leah also had a calm expression. She understood Qin Feng's strength too well. He was the #1 martial artist in China's secular world. It was rumored that even normal cannons could not kill Qin Feng. So what if the Blood Alliance came with tanks? He would still be beaten by Qin Feng until his teeth fell all over the ground. Big sister Lucy, don't worry. As long as Qin Feng is here, he definitely won't let you suffer. Leah comforted Lucy a few more times, but Lucy's brows were still furrowed. She had never seen Qin Feng's true strength with her own eyes, so she could not calm down. Leah understood Lucy's feelings, so she did not say much. When the Blood Alliance really came, Qin Feng would prove himself. However, this was a foreign country, on an island in Madagascar, so Leah could not let Qin Feng suffer. Darling, what do you plan to do when the Blood Alliance comes? Leah laid in Qin Feng's embrace like a kitten. What do you think? Qin Feng rubbed Leah's jade back and smiled. This time, we came to South Africa for a mission, and this South African hoodlum organization is the best intelligence station. It is very efficient to let them gather information, or inquire about information. When Leah talked about her coming to capture the big drug lord and Qin Feng wanting to destroy the Golden Assassin crew, Qin Feng nodded and said, "According to what you said, it would be more beneficial for me to subdue the Blood Alliance." "That's what I think, but it depends on your wishes. If you really want to kill them all, I'll support you." Leah and Qin Feng's conversation made Lucy speechless. She was worried that Qin Feng and Leah would be in trouble when the Blood Alliance came. But in the end, the two of them were talking about whether they should let the Blood Alliance go. "If we can subdue the Blood Alliance, it would be a good choice to let them gather information for us. However, these local hoodlums are like frogs at the bottom of a well. They think they're powerful, so how could they easily obey a foreigner?" Qin Feng looked frivolous, but he had already analyzed the current situation. Leah's big eyes turned as she thought of a way to subdue the Blood Alliance. "That's right, we can ask the Hong sect to step in," Leah suddenly said excitedly. "The Hong sect is the #1 power overseas. They have a lot of people and are widely distributed. In the area of South Africa, the Hong sect also has 3 branch bases, and they have all developed for a few years. Their foundation is relatively stable. Even the local gangs here do not dare to easily offend the Hong sect." As a senior inspector in Hong Kong, Lucy was very familiar with the secret forces in various countries. China had 3 sects and 5 sections. The 3 sects were Dragon Sect, Verdant Sect, and Hong Sect. The Dragon Sect was a governmental force that guarded the peace and harmony of China's secular world. They were mysterious and powerful. The Verdant Sect was an organization of evil cultivators. It had been uprooted by Qin Feng not long ago, but one had to admit that the might of the Verdant Sect was shocking. 2 of the 3 sects were already so powerful. Naturally, the Hong sect was not to be underestimated as well. However, the Hong sect had not developed in China for the past 10 years. As a result, the Hong sect's influence in China was much weaker than the Dragon sect and the Verdant sect. However, the Hong sect was the largest sect in China overseas. Its influence was so great that the Verdant sect and the Dragon sect couldn't compare to it. "That's a good idea. I'll call Chief Wu Cheng first and ask him to arrange it." Qin Feng patted Leah's perky butt and stood up to make the call. Leah already had a well-thought-out look on her face. She didn't put the blood union in her eyes at all. However, Lucy was still a little worried. She still didn't understand Qin Feng's true strength. After making the call, Qin Feng walked back. Just as he arrived beside the 2 girls, a series of hurried footsteps came from outside the villa. Qin Feng and Leah's eyes lit up. They knew it was the people from the blood union. Lucy, on the other hand, jumped in fright. She pushed Qin Feng and Leah away. "Big sister Lucy, it's bad. The people from the blood union are here. There are more than 100 of them. Hey, what do you want? This is a private house. You're not allowed to." Bang! A few gunshots came from outside. The bodyguards who wanted to stop the blood union were already lying on the ground. Following that, a group of people swarmed in and fiercely headed towards the open-air swimming pool. The man who walked at the front was tall and sturdy. He had a ponytail and was wearing a black jacket and black leather pants. He wore a pair of boots and carried a gun on his shoulder. He looked like a punk. The man seemed to be the leader of these people. As soon as he walked in, his gaze swept through the crowd and finally fell on Qin Feng. "Brat, did you kill my big brother, Nutter?" The punk man was called Scorpion King. He was Nutter's brother. 10 years ago, the two of them established the Blood Union in Madagascar. After 10 years of bloodshed, they became the #1 boss in Madagascar. This Scorpion King was the second in command of the Blood Union. When Lucy saw Scorpion King and hundreds of men with guns standing behind him, she was so scared that her legs turned to jelly. However, she still smiled and walked towards Scorpion King. "Big brother Scorpion King, why are you here? And why did you bring so many brothers? What happened?" Lucy pretended to be ignorant, because Nutter was killed in this villa, along with all his men. Lucy still had the illusion that Scorpion King didn't know who killed Nutter. "You bitch, still pretending in front of me? Not long ago, a young Chinese model came to me and told me everything that happened here. The one who killed my big brother Nutter is a Chinese pig named Qin Feng. I heard he's your man." Scorpion King's words caused Lucy's heart to palpitate. It seemed like she would not be able to escape from this. Even though Blood Alliance did not bring their tanks over, when she saw the hundreds of fierce-looking hooligans with guns, Lucy's heart sank into complete despair. Big brother Scorpion King. That's my little brother. No, not Qin Feng. That bastard Qin Feng has already escaped. Hurry up and catch him. Lucy was a woman who had seen the world. She quickly calmed down and tried to think of a way to help Qin Feng. Scorpion King's face turned cold. He spat on the ground and cursed. Fuck. I got Qin Feng's photo a long time ago. It's this bastard. Lucy, I can't believe that the Blood Union has been protecting your family's business all these years. How dare you lie to me? I'm going to bathe this villa in blood today. Scorpion King was completely enraged. He pulled open the bumper of the Laifu, loaded the gun, and aimed at Lucy. Lucy was so scared that she froze on the spot and trembled all over. This was the first time she felt death so close to her. She even forgot to run at this critical moment. After a while, Lucy realized that she wasn't shot. A strong and wide embrace hugged her tightly, and a familiar masculine scent wafted out of his body. Lucy raised her head and saw Qin Feng's handsome and determined side profile. At this moment, her heart melted. She felt that she had completely fallen in love with Qin Feng. You're quite something, brat. No wonder you killed my big brother Nader. Looks like his death wasn't in vain. Qin Feng dodged the Scorpion King's shot while hugging Lucy. This scene stunned all the Blood Union gangsters. Even the Scorpion King began to size up Qin Feng again. Pfft. But at this moment, the sound of blood spurting suddenly came from the crowd. Many people did not notice this movement, but a few people around the blood-spurting lackey noticed it. Luca, what happened to you? Big brother Scorpion King, it's bad. Luca's head fell off. The crowd was instantly in an uproar. This group of ferocious and pike-wielding desperados had a terrified expression on their faces. The crowd had parted to form a large circle. The smell of blood wafted in the air. A black gangster lay on the ground with his head separated from his body. He didn't even make a sound before he died. The entire Blood Union was stunned. Even the Scorpion King's eyes widened when he saw this scene. Lucy shuddered. This scene was very familiar to her. Didn't Big Brother Nader die in such a strange way? Lucy immediately raised her head to look at Qin Feng. She realized that Qin Feng was standing there, as if nothing had happened. It was as if the dead gangster had nothing to do with him. Who killed my man? The atmosphere was in a deadlock for a long time. The Scorpion King finally came back to his senses. His expression was ferocious. He looked around and finally, his gaze landed on Qin Feng. This was because Qin Feng and the two girls were the only ones left in the villa. The Scorpion King didn't believe that Liya and Lucy could kill someone. Although he was sure that Qin Feng was the murderer, the Scorpion King's expression changed. He was no longer as fearless as when he first arrived. There was fear hidden in the depths of his eyes. This Qin Feng's method of killing was too amazing. You don't have to doubt it. I killed him. You should be the one beheaded, but I think you're still useful. Now, bring the Blood Union people and kneel down to apologize. From now on, listen to my orders, and I can spare your lives. Qin Feng stood by the pool with Lucy in his arms. He was like a towering mountain. His voice was calm, but it emitted a strong aura that made everyone in the Blood Union feel an inexplicable fear. The atmosphere was in a deadlock again. The hundreds of Blood Union outlaws with long spears were actually afraid of Qin Feng. Even the Scorpion King was hesitant. No one knew what he was thinking. Brat, don't think that you can do whatever you want just because you're good at martial arts. This is Madagascar, the territory of the Scorpion King. Quickly put your hands on your head and squat on the ground. I can spare your life. The Scorpion King was able to reach his current position because he had seen a lot. He heard that there was a group of mysterious and powerful ancient warriors in Huaxia. The Scorpion King guessed that Qin Feng was one of them. Facing such a mysterious person, the Scorpion King didn't dare to act rashly. He said he would spare Qin Feng's life, but in fact, he wanted to kill Qin Feng the moment he squatted on the ground with his hands on his head. He didn't want Qin Feng to have any chance to attack. Seems like you still don't understand? Then I'll add some color to your face. Qin Feng saw through the Scorpion King's trick. The Scorpion King's expression changed immediately. He quickly pulled the trigger and shouted, "Shoot!" Chapter 1184. Bang 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 bang. Gunshots rang out. In an instant, more than 10 people were shooting. Among them, there were even 2 machine guns that were madly shooting at Qin Feng and Lucy. Lucy was already frightened by the deafening gunshots. She knew that Qin Feng was very powerful, but this time, Lucy didn't have any hope of surviving. She thought that she was going to die with Qin Feng. Leah, who had been leisurely leaning on the recliner, suddenly jumped up. Under the siege of more than 10 guns, Leah was worried about Qin Feng. The gunshots finally stopped after more than 10 seconds. Everyone immediately looked towards the side of the pool, but they realized that the place where Qin Feng and Lucy were standing was empty. Not even a ghost could be seen. The atmosphere instantly became strange. The group of Blood Union members were so scared that they didn't even dare to breathe loudly. Where are they? Scorpion King was also frightened, but he forced himself to be calm and roared. "Boss, did he get knocked into the pool?" One of the underlings guessed. Everyone was slightly relieved. Under such a strong attack, how could Qin Feng and Lucy survive? The possibility of them falling into the pool was very high. But in the next second, everyone sucked in a breath of cold air. There was no blood on the ground or in the pool. Obviously, they didn't hit their targets. Puss puss pussed. The sound of blood spewing spread among the crowd again. This time, there were too many people spewing blood, and it quickly attracted everyone's attention. The crowd was instantly in a mess. A group of men were so scared that they turned their heads and ran like rats. Some people dropped their guns on the ground and didn't dare to pick them up. The crowd dispersed, and everyone could finally see what had happened. On the empty ground, another 11 people had fallen. These people had died in the same way as Luca, with their heads falling to the ground. That bloody scene was even more terrifying than hell. Who did this? If you have the guts, come out. Scorpion King was a black man, but at this moment, he was so scared that he looked white. The group of underlings looked at each other. No one knew what happened, but soon, someone in the crowd exclaimed, "Boss Scorpion King, these dead brothers were all the people who fired the gun just now." When this was said, everyone was instantly shocked. As long as the person who fired the gun was dead, how terrifying was this? Could it be that he was cursed? Bullshit, don't scare people here. I've already fired the gun, why am I not dead yet? The Scorpion King was actually scared, but he pretended to be calm and angrily scolded the follower, who was talking nonsense. The group of Blood Alliance members lowered their heads and did not dare to speak carelessly. But at that moment Qin Feng, who had disappeared, turned into a pink light and reappeared in midair with Lucy in his arms. "You didn't die because I didn't kill you. Otherwise, how could you have lived until now?" Qin Feng stood on the starry sky flying sword and floated in mid-air, like a god descending to the mortal world. This scene completely stupefied everyone. A few of his lackeys were so scared that they even knelt on the ground. The Scorpion King's strong composure could no longer hold on. It was the first time he had seen such a strange scene in his life. Was this the power of the mysterious Huaxia ancient warriors? This simply went against the laws of science. I'll only give you 3 chances, and you've already used them twice. If anyone fires again, I guarantee that you'll end up like the people on the ground. Qin Feng's body emitted waves of true qi, and his voice fell on the hearts of the Blood Alliance members like thunder. Many of them could not withstand Qin Feng's majesty, and their legs turned to jelly as they knelt on the ground like devout believers praying to Buddha. The Scorpion King was completely terrified. An opponent who could fly and kill people without leaving a trace was extremely terrifying. Even a gun could not subdue him, so how could the Scorpion King defeat Qin Feng? "Be big brother, please have mercy on us. We offended you. I'll leave with my men now." The Scorpion King, who was arrogant and domineering not long ago, was now scared like a frightened rabbit. Before the Scorpion King and his men left, Qin Feng's voice sounded again. "I've told you before that the reason why I'm keeping you alive is that you're still useful. You and the Blood Alliance submit to me now, or else today will be the day you die." The Scorpion King's body froze. He was a big boss, so how could he easily kneel to someone else? But after a moment of hesitation, the Scorpion King finally kneeled in front of Qin Feng. Compared to his life, his dignity was worthless. Swoosh! With a flash of pink light, Qin Feng landed on the ground with Lucy in his arms. When the tip of Lucy's feet touched the ground again, she felt as if she had been in another world. When they were in the air just now, Lucy was dumbfounded. She did not even dare to move as she was afraid that she would fall from the sky with Qin Feng. Qin Feng landed in front of the Scorpion King, and the Scorpion King trembled in fear. Big brother Qin Feng, I, the Scorpion King, am willing to follow you from now on and listen to your orders. The Scorpion King submitted to Qin Feng without a second thought. Since even the big boss had knelt, the remaining 80+ Blood Alliance members all knelt in front of Qin Feng and Lucy. Big brother Qin Feng. Their shouts were like thunder, and Lucy finally regained her senses. However, the shock in Lucy's eyes had yet to fade away. Looking at the most powerful Blood Alliance in Madagascar, kneeling in front of her, Lucy never thought that such a day would come. Qin Feng's face was indifferent, as if he did not see the Blood Alliance members. He hugged Lucy and walked to Lie's parasol. Then he said indifferently, "You're the Scorpion King, right? Come here. I have something to tell you." After Qin Feng gave the order, the Scorpion King trembled as he walked to him. As for the rest of the Blood Alliance members, they were still kneeling on the ground. Without Qin Feng's order, they did not dare to move an inch, as they were afraid that their heads would suddenly disappear. Qin Feng hugged the two girls and lay on the chair. The Scorpion King stood at the side with his head lowered. He did not even look at Qin Feng and the two girls. "Big brother Qin, just tell me what you need. You're the biggest beneficiary of Nader's death. You've been the second in the Blood Alliance for almost 10 years. And you've had the intention to rebel for a long time. Haven't you? Now that I've helped you destroy Nader, and you've become the ruler of Madagascar, not only did you not thank me, you even brought people to cause trouble for me. You're not a kind person." Qin Feng's words stunned the Scorpion King. Every word he said was the truth, and it revealed the deepest secret in the Scorpion King's heart. As the second in command of the Blood Alliance, the Scorpion King had been thinking about his boss, Nader, every day and night. He did not dare to attack Nader, because he was afraid that he would be the one to suffer if his rebellion failed. Today, when he suddenly learned that Nader had been killed, the Scorpion King was extremely excited. He pretended to be in pain and anger, because he wanted to destroy Qin Feng and take over his position as the leader of the Blood Alliance. Big brother Qin, I've never thought about that." The Scorpion King did not mean what he said. When he said that, his voice became much softer. Qin Feng sneered and said, "You know best whether you've thought about it or not. Besides, I'm not interested in the internal conflicts of the Blood Alliance. The reason why I said that is because I hope that you'll work hard for me in the future. As long as you perform well, I won't mistreat you." Qin Feng's words showed that he had something on the Scorpion King. Although Qin Feng did not take the Scorpion King and the Blood Alliance seriously, he still needed the Scorpion King's help to gather more information in the future. Qin Feng hoped that the Scorpion King would be more proactive and reliable. The way the Scorpion King looked at Qin Feng had completely changed. He realized that not only was Qin Feng skilled in martial arts, but he was also very smart. "Big brother, I'm willing to serve you. I'm willing to follow you from now on." The Scorpion King was not convinced by Qin Feng's words, but he did not dare to have any evil thoughts now. He was afraid that he would be killed if he played with Qin Feng's brain. Seeing that the Scorpion King was completely subdued, Qin Feng went straight to the point. "I forgot to introduce myself. I'm the representative of the Hong sect in South Africa. We can work together in the future. I'll ask you a few questions, and you have to answer me truthfully." The Scorpion King almost fainted after Qin Feng revealed his identity. Qin Feng's personal strength was already intimidating enough, but his background was even more frightening. The Hong sect had a huge influence overseas, and they almost dominated half of South Africa. How could bandits like the Scorpion King compare to them? If you really provoked the Hong sect, they could bring people to destroy your organization and base at any time. "Oh, you're the boss of the Hong sect. Please forgive me if I've offended you earlier. Big brother, please ask me anything. I'll tell you everything I know. The Scorpion King was completely convinced by Qin Feng, and he did not dare to have any evil thoughts anymore. Qin Feng nodded and said, "Do you know of a drug lord in South Africa nicknamed Firebird?" Qin Feng first asked about Li Ya. The Scorpion King's expression changed drastically. He trembled and said, "Big brother, the Firebird is the biggest drug lord in South Africa. He controls all the secret transactions between South Africa and the neighboring countries. I heard that he has recently started his business in China and Hong Kong. This guy is ruthless and suspicious. He's been famous in South Africa for more than 10 years, but he hasn't been caught yet. Big brother, are you looking for trouble with him?" Firebird was the overseas drug lord that Li Ya had sent to capture. This Firebird was only his code name. According to the Hong Kong police's secret investigation, this Firebird's true identity was a big shot in Hong Kong. He later killed someone and fled the country. He did not expect that he would be doing well in South Africa. Because the Firebird was a fugitive from China and Hong Kong, Li Ya came all the way here to capture him. Judging from the Scorpion King's reaction, it seemed that he was afraid of the Firebird. This was not strange. The Firebird was a famous drug lord in South Africa. He had power and territory all over South Africa. The Scorpion King and Nada were only local snakes in Madagascar. How could they compare to those fierce dragons? You guessed right. I'm looking for trouble with that guy. Do you have a way to contact him? Qin Feng asked calmly, as if he was talking about something unimportant. The Scorpion King was shocked by Qin Feng's calmness. Even if you're the representative of the Hong sect in South Africa, you can't ignore the existence of Brother Firebird. The Hong sect was indeed powerful, but they were overseas after all. Not many people knew the Firebird's real identity. The Scorpion King and the other locals thought that the Firebird was also a South African local. Big brother, I advise you not to provoke the Firebird. Rumor has it that he has thousands of subordinates and has built more than 10 bases in South Africa. He also smuggles firearms in the dark. Even our blood union's firearms were bought from him. The Firebird is a real South African boss. He even has armored tanks. Big brother will be at a disadvantage if you go against him. The Scorpion King's words stunned Li Ya and Lucy. This Firebird was practically the local tyrant of South Africa. Qin Feng was also shocked. He was not afraid of the Firebird's power. He was glad that he met Li Ya when he came to South Africa for a mission. Otherwise, Li Ya would definitely be in trouble if she had to face such a powerful overseas drug lord alone. For the fastest and error-free reading, please bookmark this site and read the latest. Chapter 1185. Qin Feng, I didn't expect the Firebird to develop to this stage. What should we do? Li Ya was a little worried. This was originally a case given to her by the Hong Kong police. Li Ya didn't want to drag Qin Feng into this. Lucy was even more nervous than Li Ya. A blood alliance was enough to shock Lucy, let alone a South African big shot like the Firebird. Moreover, Lucy didn't know that the person Li Ya came to catch this time was the Firebird. Otherwise, she would have fainted from fright. Qin Feng, why do you have to offend the Firebird? I advise you not to act rashly, or else it will be very dangerous. Lucy looked at Qin Feng anxiously. Even the Scorpion King was frightened by Qin Feng's audacity. Seeing that Lucy had spoken, the Scorpion King quickly followed Lucy's words to persuade Qin Feng. Big brother Qin Feng, sister-in-law Lucy is right. Madagascar is Big brother's world. Why don't Big brother stay here and enjoy the glory and splendor with the two sisters-in-law? Why do you have to offend the Firebird? That guy is really not to be trifled with. Everyone looked at Qin Feng in fear. But Qin Feng's expression didn't change as he said, "What are you afraid?" The Scorpion King trembled and said cautiously, "Big brother Qin Feng, I only have this many people in the Blood Alliance. The firearms are all from the Firebird. I really can't beat him." Qin Feng laughed faintly. "Don't worry, I didn't say I want your Blood Alliance to fight against the Firebird. I just need you to introduce me to the Firebird, and let me see the Firebird. As for the aftermath, you don't have to worry." Qin Feng's words stunned the Scorpion King. The reason why the Scorpion King was so afraid was because he thought that Qin Feng planned to use the Blood Alliance as cannon fodder to attack the Firebird. After all this time, wasn't that the case? The Scorpion King couldn't understand Qin Feng again. Big brother, really only need me to introduce you to the Firebird? Big brother, although your skills are great, I don't recommend you to find trouble with the Firebird. The Scorpion King said. The Scorpion King and the others were afraid of the Firebird, but Qin Feng didn't care about the Firebird. He waved his hand and said impatiently, "You don't have to ask about my matters. You should think about how to introduce me." The Scorpion King persuaded Qin Feng out of concern for his little brother. Seeing that Qin Feng was determined to get the Firebird, the Scorpion King didn't dare to say anything more. The atmosphere became quiet. Leah looked at Qin Feng with a touched expression, while Lucy's eyes were filled with worry. The Scorpion King stood at the side, his eyes darting around. With Big Brother here, it won't be difficult to see the Firebird. As long as you have enough money, you can see it. The Scorpion King shouted in surprise. "Money is not a problem," Qin Feng said calmly. Scorpion King believed that Qin Feng was rich because he was the representative of the Hong sect in South Africa. After so many years of development, the Hong sect must be very rich. Big brother, that Firebird does illegal business in the end. His two main businesses are drugs and firearms. I've always been in contact with Firebird's firearms business, and I know one of his subordinates, Ali. If Big Brother spends a lot of money to buy firearms or drugs, I believe he can see the Firebird. The Scorpion King's suggestion was feasible. Qin Feng and Leah looked at each other and nodded. Qin Feng immediately said, "How much did you trade with the Firebird amount to? What's Ali's position on the Firebird's side?" "It's not a big deal for me. I buy 50 to 60 million worth of firearms every year. Ali's position is not low, and he can be considered as the Firebird's right-hand man. If Big Brother can spend about 1 billion to trade, I believe Brother Firebird will take the initiative to show up." 1 billion was an amount of money that ordinary people could not earn even in 10 lifetimes, but it was not worth mentioning in Qin Feng's eyes. "We'll do as you say. Help me contact Ali as soon as possible, and then ask him to introduce me to the Firebird." Qin Feng had already decided on the plan. This time, Qin Feng came to South Africa mainly to eradicate the Golden Assassin crew. After that, he had to rush back to see Ling Jiutian and ask about his mother's whereabouts and the secret of the system. Qin Feng did not want to spend too much time in South Africa. He planned to settle Li Ye's matter as soon as possible and then move on to his own matters. The Scorpion King had already left with a group of Blood Union members. When they left, they also took the bodies of the 12 dead people with them. The villa and the poolside were clean as if nothing had happened here. "Qin Feng, do you really want to go against the Firebird? Why did you come to South Africa this time?" Once the Blood Union left, Lucy asked all the questions in her heart. She could finally tell that Qin Feng did not come to play with Li Ye. He came with a purpose. Qin Feng lay under the parasol and smiled without saying a word. Leah went up and pulled the anxious Lucy to sit down. She comforted her. "Sister Lucy, don't worry about Qin Feng. Although the Firebird is powerful, it is nothing in Qin Feng's eyes. You can't imagine how powerful Qin Feng is now, but you will naturally understand when you get to know him for a long time." However, Lucy was still worried. No matter how powerful a person was, he would still die under guns and cannons. Is there no room for discussion about this? Did the Firebird offend Qin Feng? Lucy wanted to persuade her again. Leah smiled bitterly and said, "Forget it, Sister Lucy. I'll tell you the truth. This time, I was sent to South Africa by my superiors to catch a drug lord who escaped from Hong Kong. That person is the Firebird. The reason why Qin Feng wants to see the Firebird is to help me catch him." After Leah finished speaking, Lucy was suddenly stunned. After all this time, Qin Feng was helping Leah solve the case. Lucy sized up Qin Feng once again. This guy was leisurely lying on the chair, as if he wouldn't panic even if the sky fell down. His big hands were constantly touching Leah's body, and from beginning to end, he had the appearance of a hedonistic and frivolous man. However, this seemingly unreliable man, in order to protect his own woman, did not hesitate to become enemies with the South African big shots. At this moment, Lucy's heart trembled. She suddenly wanted to become Qin Feng's woman and receive his protection for the rest of her life. After knowing the truth, Lucy didn't try to persuade Qin Feng anymore. She knew that it was useless. Too many big things had happened today, and all of them were things that Lucy didn't even dare to think about in the past. Lucy left Qin Feng and Leah alone and went back to her room to rest. Only Qin Feng and Leah were left in the backyard of the villa. The two of them didn't have any scruples and flirted on the reclining chair for a while, then ran to the pool to play. In the end, Qin Feng's beach pants were gone, and Leah's yellow bikini was nowhere to be seen. The two of them really ran around the backyard empty-handed, and that scene was exciting enough to watch. Leah, Qin Feng eat dinner. Ah, you guys are too shameful. When the sky turned dark, Lucy suddenly walked over. Just as she was about to call Qin Feng and Leah to eat, she was scared by the embarrassing scene in front of her and turned around to run. Lucy had already returned to the dining table in the villa and sat down, but her mind was uncontrollably filled with the fleeting glimpse from before. Qin Feng's body was tall and sturdy, and his well-built muscles made Lucy's heart beat faster. After all, Lucy was already 25 years old this year, but she still hadn't tasted the forbidden fruit. After seeing Qin Feng's body, her mind was filled with wild thoughts. Hee, Sister Lucy, why are you running? Could it be that you're shy? Leah and Qin Feng had already walked into the villa with a smile on their faces. Lucy secretly glanced at them, and seeing that the two of them had put on their clothes, her worried heart finally calmed down. Why would I be shy? The young Chinese men and women in South Africa are very open, and there are many people like you who run naked. It's not like I haven't seen it before. Lucy was pretending to be calm. However, her crimson-red face and slightly trembling body betrayed her, causing Leah and Qin Feng to find it funny. Since Sister Lucy is so open, then let's accompany Qin Feng to the backyard to swim naked after dinner. Leah had already sat down next to Lucy and deliberately joked to tease Lucy. Lucy was so shocked that the knife and fork in her hand fell onto the plate, causing Leah to laugh continuously. Hee, darling, look how excited Sister Lucy is. When she heard that she was going to swim naked with you after dinner, she was so excited that she threw away her knife and fork. She really wants to accompany you right now. The dinner was steak and salad. Qin Feng sat at the other end of the square table, and as he cut the steak, he smiled at Lucy and said, "All right, then I won't eat anymore. Sister Lucy, let's go play with mandarin ducks now." Leah and Qin Feng teased Lucy together, causing Lucy to be so embarrassed that she wanted to dig a hole to hide in. She immediately picked up her knife and fork and buried her head in her food. I'm not full yet, we'll talk about it later. Qin Feng and Leah couldn't stop laughing. This meal was joyous and harmonious. After the meal, Leah tactfully left first. Before she left, she even smiled at Lucy. "Sister Lucy, I've been on the plane for a whole day, and I've played with Qin Feng for the whole afternoon. I'll go rest first. Tonight you serve Qin Feng." Lucy was pretending to bury her head in her food, and immediately jumped up in fright. Xiaoya, wait for me, I'm going to rest too. Sister Lucy, where are you going to rest? If I remember correctly, you promised to go to my room tonight at noon. Why don't we sleep in your room tonight? Qin Feng laughed. Lucy suddenly stopped in the middle of running. This was indeed what she had said when she made a bet with Leah. And Lucy was also a person who kept her word. Today, she thought that she had lost the gold mine to Zhang Hua, and was even prepared to call her father to explain this matter. Now that Qin Feng had suggested sleeping with her, Lucy was really depressed to death. Then, I'm not feeling well tonight. How about changing the time? Lucy looked at Qin Feng guiltily. Qin Feng sat leisurely at the dining table, and said with an indifferent expression, "Up to you. If you don't want to keep your promise, I won't force you." Lucy's heart suddenly tightened. Although Qin Feng had already expressed his intention to let her go, Lucy still felt a little apologetic. She was the one who had made the bet with Leah. How could she go back on her word now that she had lost? Then I'll go to my room first. Turn right on the third floor, It's the innermost room. Just come up after you finish eating. Lucy hesitated for a moment. But in the end, she gritted her teeth and ran upstairs. At most, she would just accompany Qin Feng for a night. She couldn't be a person who went back on his word. For the fastest and error-free reading, please bookmark this site to read the latest. Chapter 1186. Watching Lucy running up the stairs like a frightened rabbit, Qin Feng was overjoyed. Actually, Qin Feng didn't take the bet seriously. It was Leah who suggested it to Lucy. Qin Feng just wanted to tease Lucy and add some fun to his trip to South Africa. After Lucy left, Qin Feng wasn't in a hurry. Instead, he leisurely enjoyed his steak and red wine. After eating for more than half an hour, Qin Feng finally went upstairs to satiate himself. When he arrived at the 3rd floor, he didn't go to Lucy's room. Instead, he found an empty room and slept. In the master bedroom on the 3rd floor, Lucy had already finished showering. She wore a white bath towel, exposing her snow-white shoulders and beautiful legs to the air. The bathtub was filled with warm water and sprinkled with flower petals. This was the bathwater Lucy prepared for Qin Feng. Ever since Lucy returned to her room, her heart had been racing. She lay on the big bed and watched TV, but she couldn't focus on anything. Her mind was filled with the scene of Qin Feng entering the room. This was Lucy's first time, so it would be strange if she wasn't nervous. Why isn't he here yet? Lucy waited for Qin Feng for almost an hour. She ran out of the car and touched the temperature of the bathtub. The water in the bathtub had become cold. Can't Qin Feng find my room? I'd better go out and take a look. Since Lucy had agreed to fulfill her bet tonight, she decided to throw caution to the wind. She walked barefoot on the pure white wool carpet and walked all the way to the dining room on the 1st floor. However, Qin Feng was nowhere to be seen. His empty plate and half-drunk glass of red wine were placed on the table. Looks like he really can't find my room. I'd better find him. Lucy blushed, but she gritted her teeth and started to look for Qin Feng on the 3rd floor. Lucy's villa was magnificent. It was like a palace. There were more than a dozen rooms on the 3rd floor. When Lucy found the 5th room, she finally saw Qin Feng sleeping on the bed. Qin Feng? Are you asleep? Lucy turned on the light and said softly. Qin Feng was already sleeping soundly and didn't respond at all. Lucy felt an indescribable sense of loss and guilt. She clearly lost the bet, so she should have taken the initiative to bring Qin Feng to her room tonight. But in the end, she let Qin Feng sleep alone. This made Lucy feel as if she had violated her honor. Lucy quietly climbed onto the bed and slowly burrowed into Qin Feng's embrace. Ever since she was young, she had only been hugged by her father to sleep. This was the first time she slept with another man. Qin Feng's embrace was warm and wide. Lying in it was very comfortable. Lucy's originally nervous mood calmed down. She felt a sense of security as she lay in Qin Feng's embrace. Ah! Lucy suddenly cried out in alarm. She realized that Qin Feng's large hand had unknowingly touched her chest. Lucy was about to struggle free, but in the end she stopped. She owed Qin Feng a night, and this was what he deserved. Closing her eyes, Lucy pretended not to know anything. In the end, Qin Feng's large hand started to touch her entire body. Qin Feng was still half asleep. He knew that there was a woman on the bed, but Qin Feng naturally thought that it was Leah. This girl had been crazy with him for an entire afternoon, and she was still not satisfied? At night, she came to seduce him again. Qin Feng was also a little tired today. He didn't even want to open his eyes, and just touched her based on his feelings. Gradually, Qin Feng became excited and simply hugged Leah and fiercely attacked. Qin Feng had already forgotten what time he had gone crazy last night. He felt that Leah had become a little immature, and her body had also changed. The next day, when Qin Feng woke up naturally, he was shocked when he opened his eyes. He discovered that the woman lying in his arms was not Leah, but Lucy. Ah, you're awake? Lucy had woken up a long time ago, and had been lying in Qin Feng's embrace the entire time without getting up. This was the first man in her life, and Lucy really wanted to sleep in Qin Feng's embrace like this. Their eyes met, and Qin Feng suddenly sat up. He pulled open the blanket and looked at the situation inside. He and Lucy were both naked. When did you get on my bed? Qin Feng was extremely depressed. He had been forced by Lucy. Lucy felt more or less wronged. Last night, she was almost killed by Qin Feng, but in the end, Qin Feng still blamed her for her attitude when he woke up. I waited for you in the bedroom last night, but you didn't come. I thought you couldn't find a room, so I came to you, Lucy said with a bit of grievance. Qin Feng suddenly woke up. After all this time, the person he was happy with last night wasn't Li Ya, but Lucy. Cough cough. That bet was just a joke between Li Ya and you. We didn't take it seriously. And you really came? Qin Feng looked at Lucy gloomily. Only then did he realize that this woman was quite naive. Lucy felt even more wronged. She had lost her chastity. So what was the use of Qin Feng saying such words? I understand, I'm leaving. Lucy's mood was extremely bad. She got off the bed and walked out. Qin Feng looked at the lonely figure of this woman and couldn't bear to leave. Lucy, come back. I didn't tell you to leave. Where do you want to go? When Lucy reached the door, her body suddenly froze. She turned around and looked at Qin Feng with a bit of surprise. Then why do you want me to stay? Qin Feng leaped and instantly arrived beside Lucy. He carried her and flew to the bed. What do you think? Last night, I mistook you for Xiaoya. Now I want to taste your unique scent again. The news of the death of Madagascar's Blood Union's boss, Nutter, seemed to have spread throughout Madagascar overnight. However, no one knew how this matter was resolved. Even those who attended the party at Lucy's house didn't know, because they had already left before the Blood Union came to deal with Qin Feng. Have you guys heard? Boss Nutter is dead. The streets and alleys of Madagascar were filled with people discussing this matter. Fuck. Lower your fucking voice. Right now, everyone in Madagascar knows that Big Brother Nutter is dead. It's fine if you keep this in your heart. If the Blood Union hears this, they'll kill you. That's right, who killed Nutter? I heard it's a Chinese brat. He's really brave. He even dared to kill Big Brother Nutter. What's the use of guts? That brat is a retard. I think he's already dead by now. Don't believe those rumors. This is Madagascar, Nutter's territory. How could he be killed by a Chinese brat? I heard that the second in command of the Blood Union, the Scorpion King, has been eyeing Nutter's position for a long time. Fussy, don't talk nonsense. If you want to talk, go somewhere else. Don't drag us into this. As a local tyrant, Nutter's death caused a huge uproar in Madagascar. On another island in the southwest of the Indian Ocean, someone was also discussing this matter. Dad, I heard that Madagascar's Nutter is dead. This is a great opportunity for us to make a move. In a private mansion in Mauritius, Zhang Hua was constantly persuading a middle-aged man sitting on the sofa. The man was his father, Zhang Yunqing, who was also a business tycoon in the South African Chinese circle. Zhang Yunqing was dressed in a suit. He crossed his legs and leaned on the sofa, smoking a cigar. With a cold expression he said, "You brat, as soon as you came back, you persuaded me to suppress Lucy's family's business. Haven't you always been interested in Lucy? What are you hiding from me now? Say it." Zhang Hua's petty thoughts did not escape Zhang Yunqing's eyes. Zhang Yunqing had been in the business world for more than 10 years, and was a sly old fox. Being questioned by his father, Zhang Hua suddenly lost his confidence. He said carefully, I went to Lucy's house the day before yesterday and lost our family's #1 gold mine and #1 oil field. As soon as Zhang Hua finished his words, Zhang Yunqing was dumbfounded. He did not even notice that the cigar in his hand had fallen to the ground. For this tycoon to lose his composure like this, it showed the importance of the #1 gold mine and #1 oil field. You bastard, I'll beat you to death. After a few seconds of silence, Zhang Yunqing immediately jumped up and lashed out at Zhang Hua furiously. He scolded as he slapped. You wastrel. What else can you do besides spending money to pick up girls? I've indulged you in the past, but this time you gambled with the #1 gold mine and #1 oil field? Have you lost your mind? Zhang Hua was slapped all the way back, but he did not even dare to let out a fart. He was very clear about the importance of the #1 gold mine and #1 oil field. These were the two most important industries in his father's hands. They could bring in billions of profits every year. It was no wonder that Zhang Yunqing was so angry. Dad, please don't hit me. Things have already happened. Let's think of a countermeasure. Zhang Hua felt that he was about to faint from the slaps and had to beg for mercy. Zhang Yunqing finally calmed down after slapping him for so long, but he still glared at Zhang Hua with a cold face. Tell me what's going on. Dad, it's a brat from China who spoiled my plan. I planned to find Lucy to cultivate a relationship. If I can pick up that girl, her father's family business will be ours in the future. But when I went there, I met a brat called Qin Feng. He gambled with me and won. I bet on the #1 oil field and #1 gold mine. After Zhang Hua finished his words, Zhang Yunqing was angry again, but he forced himself to calm down. You lost in the gambling? How could that brat win against you? Zhang Yunqing quickly saw through the suspicious points of the matter. Zhang Yunqing was quite confident in his son's gambling skills. He had learned it from the Hong Kong gold medal dealer, second master he. Zhang Hua said gloomily, that brat's gambling skills are better than mine. But he kept acting cool. I accidentally fell into his trap. Zhang Yunqing was really angry at his useless son. After a moment of silence, he shouted, we can't give the #1 oil field and #1 gold mine to Lucy's family. If that's the case, we can't stay in South Africa anymore. We can just drink the sea breeze in the future. Chapter 1187. Dad, of course I won't give the #1 oil field and gold mine to Lucy. I'm not an idiot. Zhang Hua quickly declared. Zhang Yunqing glared at his son and said, you're not an idiot? You're almost an idiot. You lost in a gambling game in Lucy's villa. If you don't give the oil field and gold mine to her, I'll lose my face. Zhang Yunqing was now depressed to death. He would never admit to this bet, but it was inevitable that he would lose face. What's more, Zhang Yunqing and Lucy's father, Guo Yifan, were big business rivals. Guo Yifan would definitely take this opportunity to suppress him. Since Zhang Hua took the initiative to come back to discuss this matter with his father, he naturally already had his own plan. Dad, that's why I told you before. Madagascar's big boss, Natigo, died 2 days ago. I heard he died in Lucy's villa. Guo Yifan and his men can't even protect themselves now. Why would they care about the oil field and gold mine? Zhang Yunqing was busy negotiating a big business deal and didn't pay attention to the outside world. Zhang Yunqing's expression changed. He stared at his son and asked, are you serious? Don't you fucking joke with me about this. If not, as subordinates hear this, you'll be dead. Zhang Yunqing thought his son was trying to avoid responsibility. Zhang Hua's mouth twitched. No matter how brave he was, he wouldn't dare to joke about the death of the blood union's big boss. Dad, is there a need for me to lie to you about this? You can just make a call and ask someone. Zhang Yunqing started to take this seriously because he realized his son didn't seem to be joking. Haha. Good, even the heavens are helping me. Guo Yifan is competing with me for a diamond mine in Somalia. Let's see how he's going to compete with me now. I'm afraid he's been killed by the blood union. Zhang Yunqing was elated. Because of Natigo's death, he didn't have to worry about the oil field and gold mine anymore. He even had one less competitor to bid for the new project. Zhang Yunqing and Zhang Hua, father and son, were still daydreaming. They thought that Guo Yifan, his daughter, and Qin Feng were all dead. But Qin Feng had been staying in the villa for the past few days. With the two great beauties, Lucy and Li Ye, accompanying him every day, Qin Feng was extremely happy. Early in the morning, when the three of them had just finished their meal and were playing in the open-air swimming pool, the Scorpion King hurried over. Brother Qin, sisters-in-law, good morning. The last time the Scorpion King came to Lucy's villa, he had brought hundreds of brothers with him. This time, however, he was alone and didn't dare to carry a single weapon. The two girls shyly ran away from Qin Feng's embrace and went to the side to play. Qin Feng leaped lightly and instantly landed beside the Scorpion King. The Scorpion King was so scared that it almost knelt down. Tell me, is there any news? Qin Feng grabbed a dry towel and wiped his hair and arms. The Scorpion King said carefully, I've contacted Ali. He said he'll come over this afternoon to talk to you face to face. Qin Feng was already lying on the bench, leisurely drinking fruit juice. The last time the Scorpion King left, Qin Feng arranged for him to contact the Firebird. He didn't expect that after only 3 days, the Firebird would make a move. You did well. Tell me the details of your conversation with Ali, lest we get exposed, Qin Feng said indifferently. I told him everything according to Brother Qin's wishes. He said that you're a big investor from China, and that you want to do drug business. Moreover, you have more than 1 billion yuan to spare. The Scorpion King was very quick-witted. Just as he finished speaking, one of the villa's bodyguards suddenly ran in. What's going on? Qin Feng raised his eyebrows and asked the bodyguard. The bodyguard looked at Qin Feng and didn't say anything. Then he walked to the side of the pool and said to Lucy, Sister Lucy. Lucy and Leah had just swum to the shore. Before the bodyguard could finish his sentence, Lucy walked to the side of the pool and slapped him. Qin Feng asked you a question. Why did you ignore him? From now on, he's the male owner of this villa. Open your eyes wide. Lucy's heart was filled with anger. Ever since she had sex with Qin Feng that night, she completely obeyed Qin Feng. The bodyguard trembled in fear. He hurriedly turned around and apologized to Qin Feng. Young Master Qin, I'm sorry. Qin Feng waved his hand and interrupted the bodyguard. He didn't care about these things. Don't talk nonsense. Is someone here? Although Qin Feng was at the villa's open-air pool, he could feel an unfamiliar aura coming from outside the villa. This was the sharpness of a normal person's senses after stepping into the true Qi stage. Yes, young Master Qin. A man who calls himself Ali is at the door with his 4 lackeys. Just as the bodyguard finished speaking, Qin Feng and the other 3's expressions changed. The Scorpion King trembled in fear and immediately knelt in front of Qin Feng. Big brother Qin, I don't know what's going on. Ali and I agreed to meet at 4 in the afternoon. I didn't think he would come now. I didn't lie to you. The Scorpion King broke out in a cold sweat. Qin Feng could tell that he wasn't lying. It seemed that Ali purposely changed the meeting time. This brat was quite vigilant. Lucy, take Xiaoya to the villa and hide. Qin Feng quickly calmed down and started to arrange for everyone. You go invite the guests outside in. Be more enthusiastic. Qin Feng ordered the bodyguard. The bodyguard, who originally looked down on Qin Feng, now nodded his head like a chicken pecking at rice and ran away. Lucy took Xiaoya to hide in the villa. Leah was Hong Kong's senior inspector. If Ali saw Leah, he would probably recognize her, because the Firebird was a big shot who escaped from Hong Kong. He was very familiar with Hong Kong. Just as the 2 women entered the villa, the bodyguard brought a group of people in. The man walking at the front wore a bright white suit that was somewhat dazzling under the sunlight. He combed his hair like Shanghai's brother Feng and was a Chinese. Behind the Chinese man were 4 black-clothed bodyguards, all of whom were dark-skinned locals. Young Master Feng, he's here, the bodyguard said respectfully to Qin Feng. Because young Master Qin's name was too famous in China, Qin Feng had already told everyone to call him young Master Feng. Search his lower body. Qin Feng lay on the bench, as if he didn't care about Ali and the others. The Scorpion King stood nervously at the side. This was the Firebird's right-hand man. But Qin Feng actually ignored him. Sir, please open your arms for a body search. The bodyguard was also nervous, but he was more afraid of Qin Feng. Ali's gaze had already fallen on Qin Feng. His expression was somewhat cold, and he was obviously very dissatisfied with Qin Feng's attitude. Scorpion King, this is the young Master Feng you introduced? How arrogant. Ali didn't cooperate with the bodyguard's body search. He crossed his arms in front of his chest and glared at Qin Feng. The Scorpion King didn't dare to offend either side, so he hurriedly smiled apologetically. Haha, brotherly, this is young Master Feng's private villa. Anyone who enters must be searched. I'm also not armed, so I can only enter. I hope brotherly can understand. Everyone spoke in English. Qin Feng leisurely drank his juice and didn't pay much attention to Ali. The dissatisfied Ali suddenly laughed. Haha, a body search is a must. Our boss loves to work with vigilant people. Otherwise, he'll be tricked sooner or later. Ali already opened his arms. He was testing Qin Feng to see if he was suitable for further cooperation. The bodyguard searched the 5 people. Ali didn't have any weapons on him. The 4 bodyguards were temporarily detained after they found 4 pistols and 4 military knives. Brotherly, without weapons, the 4 black-clothed bodyguards instantly felt insecure. They all looked at Ali. Ali waved his hand and said, "You guys just stand here. This is a friend that the Scorpion King introduced, so there's no problem." Ali already strode towards Qin Feng. He first went up and hugged the Scorpion King. "Brotherly, thank you for believing in me." The Scorpion King smiled as he patted Ali's back. "What are you saying? We've worked together more than 10 times, so we're considered old friends. I heard that your big brother Nada died a few days ago. What's going on?" Ali suddenly asked. The Scorpion King was shocked when he heard about Nada, but he quickly laughed and said, "Haha. Brotherly, you and I both know about this, so I don't have to explain it so clearly, right? On this island of Madagascar, besides me, who else do you think would do this?" Nada spoke in code, but Ali understood. He patted the Scorpion King's shoulder and said with a smile, "Brat, you've got guts. Killing the boss to usurp the throne. I'm not as ruthless and ambitious as you. Haha, let's not talk about this. I'm actually quite guilty, but we're all in this business, so we often have no choice. Brotherly, you should understand." I understand. All right, why don't you introduce us to each other?" Ali chatted with the Scorpion King for a long time, but he had already changed the topic to Qin Feng. The Scorpion King hurriedly said, "Brotherly, this is young Master Feng, a wealthy businessman from China. Young Master Feng, this is the brotherly I've been talking about. He has a lot of goods, and as long as young Master Feng can pay the price, brotherly can provide the goods." After the Scorpion King introduced each other, Ali took the initiative to ask, "Young Master Feng, how much goods do you want to buy this time?" Qin Feng had already gotten up from the recliner. He looked at Ali and said, "I still don't know the quality of your goods. Buy a small amount for the first batch. Give me 50 million, and if the goods are good, I'll immediately add 1 billion worth of goods." Although the Firebird had been doing business for more than 10 years, it was rare for a big customer to buy 1 billion worth of goods at once. Ali was a little excited, but he maintained a calm expression on his face. "You can ask anyone in South Africa. Our boss, the Firebird, has the best goods. You don't have to worry about the quality, but you're buying 1 billion worth of goods at once. Can you sell them?" Chapter 1188. Haha, you guys are so nosy. You even care about where I sell my goods? You guys don't want to make money, right? That's fine. There are many people in South Africa who have goods. I'll just find a few more. Qin Feng suddenly laughed. The Scorpion King and Ali were shocked. The Scorpion King knew Qin Feng wanted to fish out the Firebird behind Ali, but he didn't expect Qin Feng to be so indifferent. Ali panicked. This was a $1 billion order. If he messed it up, it would be hard to explain. "I'm not being nosy. After all, the quantity of goods is too big. I have to ensure young Master Feng's safety, right? If you get caught, then our boss will also be affected," Ali said honestly. "I know what you mean. Your boss suspects me, and I'm actually wary of you. It's such a big order. If you go back on your word or mix in defective goods, then I'll lose a lot." Of course, Qin Feng wanted to fish out the Firebird. He knew that when dealing with people like the Firebird, the more you begged them, the less they would take you seriously. Now that Qin Feng was doing the opposite, he had clearly captured Ali's heart. "If young Master Feng doesn't have confidence in us, you can ask your friend, the Scorpion King. Our boss has worked with him for many years, and they have a very reliable relationship." Ali looked at the Scorpion King and used his eyes to seek his help. "Don't worry, young Master Feng. I can guarantee that Brother Li and Brother Firebird have a good relationship. Their goods won't be wrong." The Scorpion King and Qin Feng echoed each other. Their acting was very realistic. Qin Feng pretended to be deep in thought. Then he said, "All right, I can transfer 50 million to you first. Then you can send me a batch of goods. I'll make a decision after I see the quality of the goods." Ali suppressed his excitement and said calmly, "Okay, I'll say it again. Our boss has the best goods in all of South Africa. Seeing that the deal was done, Chin Feng felt that Ali's wariness towards him had decreased a lot, so he continued. If there are no problems with this batch of goods, then I'll add 1 billion to buy another batch of goods. You can prepare the goods in advance. Haha. Okay, I'll go back and tell the boss about this. As long as young Master Feng gets the money, you don't have to worry about the goods. Ali was already overjoyed and felt a bit elated. Chin Feng suddenly changed the topic and said, however, I want your boss to personally show up for the next transaction. After all, $1 billion of goods isn't a small amount, so I have to think about it for myself. Ali's expression changed. He looked at Chin Feng cautiously. Young Master Feng, our boss doesn't normally see people. I'll trade with you for the next batch of goods. I can guarantee the quality and safety of the goods, so why bother our boss? Chin Feng and the Scorpion King's hearts sank. They didn't expect Ali to reject the request so firmly. However, Chin Feng quickly calmed down. He pretended to be indifferent and said, I have to trade with my boss for the 1 billion worth of goods. If your boss isn't willing to do it, then I'll find someone else to trade with. I can't bear this risk alone. Chin Feng's attitude was even more resolute than Ali's. Neither side backed down, and the atmosphere instantly became deadlocked. After a whole 5 minutes, no one spoke. Chin Feng suddenly said, since Big Brother Ali isn't sincere in doing business, then please leave. The Scorpion King started to feel nervous, but Ali stood to the side and didn't leave. Big Brother Ali, I can guarantee that young Master Feng won't have any problems. It's such a big transaction. It's just that I don't have the goods on hand. Otherwise, I would have worked with young Master Feng a long time ago. Big Brother Ali, you have to think carefully. I'm only introducing young Master Feng to you, because we've worked together for so many years. The Scorpion King immediately stood up to speak for Chin Feng. Ali's expression changed slightly. He was clearly a bit tempted. After all, this was a $1 billion transaction. I can't make this decision. I'll go back and discuss it with my boss. You guys wait for my news. Ali hesitated for a while, but he didn't agree on the spot. He turned and left. Just as he reached the door of the villa, Chin Feng's voice came. I don't have much patience. I'll only give you 3 days. If you don't reply in 3 days, I'll find someone else. Ali and his 4 bodyguards had been gone for a while. The Scorpion King sat on the ground. His back was already drenched in cold sweat. Those were the Firebird's capable subordinates. Before the Scorpion King met Chin Feng, he never thought that one day he would be deceiving the Firebird's people. Heh, look at your cowardice. I wonder how you became the boss of Madagascar. Chin Feng laughed as he looked at the Scorpion King, who was about to collapse. The Scorpion King was mocked, but he didn't lose his temper. He had seen Chin Feng's strength, and he admitted that he was not even 1/10 of Chin Feng's strength. Darling, how did it go? Chin Feng, you didn't expose yourself, did you? Leah and Lucy ran over. The 2 girls were dressed in bikinis these days. They were sexy and charming. However, the Scorpion King kept his head down and didn't dare to look at them. That brat is too vigilant. He said he wanted to go back and discuss with the Firebird. It seems like the Firebird is even more cunning. We can't rush to catch him, Chin Feng said while shaking his head. Lucy felt relieved when she saw that Chin Feng was fine. Leah, on the other hand, was frowning. She knew that Chin Feng had a mission in South Africa, so she didn't want to waste too much of his time. Darling, then you go and do your own things. I'll go catch the Firebird by myself. Leah lied in Chin Feng's embrace and whispered. Chin Feng's large hands caressed Leah's body without restraint, and he said softly, no, the Firebird is more powerful than you think. You definitely won't be able to capture him by yourself. I'll help you capture the Firebird, then go find the Golden Assassin crew. How could Chin Feng let Leah do the mission by herself? Leah didn't say anything more because she knew that Chin Feng wouldn't change his mind once he decided on something. Ali's arrival gave Chin Feng and Leah a glimmer of hope. Now, all they had to do was waste time and wait for Ali's news. The Scorpion King had already left. Chin Feng and the 2 girls continued to play. Then Lucy's phone rang. You guys play first. I'm going to take this call. Lucy swam ashore and spoke on the phone for a while. When she came back, her expression had clearly changed. Xiao Ye Qin Feng, something happened at home. You guys stay in this villa. I'm going to Somalia and will be back in 2 days. Lucy seemed to be in a hurry. She said goodbye and ran away in a hurry. Qin Feng and Leah also came ashore. They wanted to ask Lucy what happened, but they realized that Lucy had already changed her clothes and left in a car. Madagascar, Mauritius and Somalia were adjacent to each other. Because the 3 islands were rich in resources, Guo Yifun's main bases were all nearby. Lucy had already taken a cruise to Somalia. In a villa, her father, Guo Yifun, was anxiously pacing back and forth. Dad, is there a problem with the diamond you bought? Lucy went straight to the point as soon as she entered the house. Guo Yifun was dressed in a black suit. He was tall and burly, had a dignified gaze, and exuded the aura of a big boss. Lucy, you're here. Take a seat first. It's a long story. Guo Yifun pulled his daughter to sit on the sofa in the living room. Lucy could not sit still and asked, Dad, what's going on? Aren't you determined to get that diamond mine? Did you not buy it? Guo Yifun's expression was solemn. He sighed and said, I bought it. I spent all my assets to buy it. Lucy knew the diamond mine very well. It was a newly discovered diamond mine on Somalia. It was said that this diamond mine could be developed for 50 years and was priceless. Back then, Guo Yifun had said that he would buy this diamond mine no matter how much money he had to spend. It did not matter even if he had to give up all of his assets. Now that Guo Yifun had really bought it, he had a troubled look on his face. Dad, it's a good thing that you bought it. It's a diamond mine. After developing it for 3 years, you can earn back all the money you invested. It's not a bad deal. Lucy had been in South Africa with her father for so many years. She was also very knowledgeable about investment. She could not understand her father's thoughts. Guo Yifun let out another long sigh and said, Of course I can make money if I can develop it. But now there's a problem with the diamond mine. The local forces don't recognize the land contract I bought. The Somali pirates over there have informed me to evacuate my men and engineering team as soon as possible. Otherwise they'll open fire on me. Guo Yifun frowned. This was a famous overseas business tycoon in South Africa. But now it was decadent. Lucy was also shocked by the news. She had been in South Africa for a long time and knew the situation here very well. If you wanted to do business here, you must have a strong backing. The backing of Lucy's family was the Blood Alliance, but the Blood Alliance was a force on Madagascar. Now that the Somali pirates were looking for trouble, Lucy's family could do nothing. How could this be? We can ask the local Somali government to step in. We bought the land legally. Lucy quickly came up with a plan. Guo Yifun shook his head and sighed. It's useless. You know that there are constant battles in this area. The Somali pirates are very powerful. If we really ask the government to step in, the pirates will definitely hate us. At that time, let alone the diamond mine, we won't be able to stay in South Africa. What Guo Yifun said was the truth. Lucy was immediately at a loss. That's not right. The Somali pirates have never robbed land for minerals before. Why are they suddenly going against us this time? Lucy was a little puzzled. Chapter 1189. Guo Yifun had invested all his assets into the diamond mine on Somali Island. He thought he could make a fortune with it, but he didn't expect all his money to go to waste. Lucy stayed on Somali Island for 2 days. During these 2 days, she and her father were very busy. The Somali pirates' suppression became more and more severe. They forced Guo Yifun to evacuate all the workers and engineers around the diamond mine. Those who refused to leave were killed by the pirates. In the villa on Somali Island, Lucy and Guo Yifun sat on the living room sofa. It was only 2 days, but it felt like 20 years to them. Lucy frowned, and Guo Yifun looked like he had aged more than 10 years. He no longer had the imposing manner of an overseas tyrant. Dad, the diamond mine on this island has been completely seized by the Somali pirates. There's no way for us to get it back. Let's just treat it as a small loss. Let's go back to Madagascar now. There's still a gold mine and an oil field there. We can start over. Lucy was sad, but she still had to comfort her father. Gui Yifan sighed and said, Lucy, I've sold all my assets to buy that diamond mine. Even the gold mine and oil field in Madagascar are gone. Lucy, I'm sorry. I wanted to earn more money for your dowry, but now I have nothing. Daughter, you won't blame me, right? Gui Yifan leaned on the sofa weakly. His eyes were blank, and his face was filled with despair. He knew he was done for. Zhang Yunqing had pushed him into a pit of fire. Lucy didn't expect the situation to be so serious. Dad sold all his assets. Dad, don't worry. We'll go back to Madagascar now. I won the #1 oil field and gold mine from Zhang Hua's family. We'll develop in Madagascar from now on. Lucy suddenly remembered the 2 properties that Qin Feng won from gambling. Moreover, Qin Feng had subdued the Blood Alliance in Madagascar. Lucy believed that as long as they returned to Madagascar, everything would be fine. Lucy missed Qin Feng very much even though she had only been on Somali Island for 2 days. She knew that no one would dare to bully her as long as she was with Qin Feng. Ah, girl, what did you say? You won Zhang Hua's #1 oil field and gold mine? The dispirited Gui Yifan suddenly sat up straight, as if he had suddenly come back to life. Yes, Dad. A few days ago, 2 Chinese friends came to my house, and I held a party to welcome them. Then, Zhang Hua came, and he gambled with one of my friends in public. Lucy told him the details of what happened at that time. The light in Gui Yifan's eyes grew brighter. If it was just Lucy and Zhang Hua gambling alone, it definitely wouldn't count. But this time, there were so many rich young masters and heiresses watching. How could Zhang Hua not admit it? Damn Zhang Yunqing. He lost our #1 oil field and gold mine, but he didn't give them back. This time, he even secretly cheated me. I'll call him now and ask him if he still has any shame. Gui Yifan was furious. He took out his phone and was about to make a call when a large group of people rushed in. Who are you people? This is a private villa. It's illegal for you to break in the middle of the night. Gui Yifan and Lucy were shocked. There were more than 10 men in black leather jackets with guns at their waists. They had long hair and beards, and they looked like Somali pirates. Haha. Gui Yifan, Gui Yifan, didn't you want to call me? I'm here now. If you have anything to say, just say it to me face to face. Behind the row of Somali pirates, another 2 people walked in. They were Zhang Hua and Zhang Yunqing. Seeing the 2 of them, Gui Yifan understood everything. He had always guessed that Zhang Yunqing had colluded with the pirates to frame him for the diamond mine incident. Now that both sides were on the same side, it was obvious that it was true. Zhang Yunqing, you are worse than a beast. How dare you break into my villa at night? I'll call the police to arrest you. The moment Gui Yifan saw Zhang Yunqing, he lost his mind. Zhang Yunqing smiled at Gui Yifan and said, Go ahead and call the police. No one is stopping you. I'm afraid you'll be killed before the police arrive. Gui Yifan, who was about to make a call, suddenly hung up. He finally realized the current situation. Zhang Yunqing was here to kill him. You. What do you want? The diamond mine has already been taken by you. What else do you want? Gui Yifan was nervous and afraid, but he still stood in front of his daughter. He put his hands behind his back and gestured to Lucy to find a chance to escape. Zhang Yunqing had already sat down on the sofa. He leisurely poured a glass of red wine and drank it. Gui Yifan, you and I went into business together. We fought openly and secretly for more than 10 years. Now you have nothing. What else can I do? Gui Yifan's forehead was covered in cold sweat. He was sure that Zhang Yunqing was here to kill him. Gui Yifan no longer cared about his own life. He was very worried about his daughter's safety. Zhang Yunqing, who said my dad has nothing. Your family lost the #1 gold mine and the #1 oil field to me. Lucy suddenly stood up and stared at Zhang Yunqing with a determined expression. Gui Yifan was almost scared to death. He quickly pulled Lucy behind him and scolded. Lucy, shut up. You have no right to speak here. Lucy pouted unhappily, but she didn't say anything. Zhang Yunqing laughed unscrupulously. Haha, you mean the #1 oil field and gold mine that Zhang Hua lost to your friend? Fine. Call your friend here. I'll give him the oil field and the gold mine immediately. Zhang Yunqing was talking about Qin Feng. He heard from his son that Madagascar's tycoon, Nadago, died in Lucy's villa. He thought Qin Feng was dead. You lost, so you lost. Why did you have to call my friend over? A lot of people saw this at that time. Are you trying to act shamelessly? Lucy got angry and confronted Zhang Yunqing again. This was Somalia, and Lucy's family had no one to rely on. She didn't want Qin Feng to come here. She was afraid that Qin Feng would be in danger. Zhang Yunqing and Zhang Hua laughed arrogantly. They thought Qin Feng was dead. Of course, Lucy couldn't call Qin Feng to come here. Lucy, I lost to Qin Feng in cards, not you. If you want to give him the oil field and gold mine, then give it to him. Either you call him here, or don't talk nonsense here. Zhang Hua looked at Lucy with a smile, his eyes unscrupulously staring at Lucy's figure. Lucy was furious, but she couldn't do anything. At this time, Guo Yifan pushed Lucy and shouted, "Girl, run." "Ah, Dad, let's go together." Lucy was pushed to the stairs, but she didn't want to run away by herself. She dragged her dad along. Zhang Yunqing had already reacted and hurriedly shouted at the pirates, "Quickly capture them. Don't let them escape." Zhang Hua quickly added, "Catch them alive. Don't kill that girl. I still want to fuck her." Dozens of pirates rushed over. Guo Yifan and Lucy were scared out of their wits. "Girl, leave now. If you don't leave, we will all die. If you run away, they won't dare to kill me for the time being." Guo Yifan was a big shot, so he calmed down at this critical moment. His words woke Lucy up. Although she was very reluctant, she wiped away her tears and ran upstairs. "Zhang Yunqing, you son of a bitch, I will make you regret this." Guo Yifan stood unwaveringly at the staircase like a mountain, facing the oncoming pirates. He did not give way at all, and even scolded Zhang Yunqing. "Put your hands on your head and squat on the ground, or I will shoot you." The pirates pointed their guns at Guo Yifan. Guo Yifan would be lying if he said he wasn't nervous, but in order to buy more time for his daughter to escape, he held on tightly to the handrails on both sides of the stairs, refusing to budge. "Fussy! Die!" Bang! The leading pirate ran out of patience and kicked Guo Yifan in the chest. The huge force directly knocked Guo Yifan over. "You guys go and catch that woman. You guys tie this idiot up and take him back." As soon as Lucy ran to the third floor, she heard hurried footsteps coming from downstairs. She quickly rushed into her father's bedroom, locked the door, and went under the bed. As an overseas tycoon, Guo Yifan was very careful. He had dug underground passages in his 3 villas in South Africa for escape. Lucy had already pulled open the floor under the bed. There was a deep tunnel under it. Lucy looked at the door, her beautiful eyes sparkling with tears. "Dad, you must wait for your daughter to come back." Half an hour later, the pirates turned the villa upside down, but they couldn't find Lucy's whereabouts. Everyone gathered in the living room on the first floor. Zhang Yunqing and his son had a straight face, but Guo Yifan smiled comfortably. He knew that his daughter had escaped. "Fuck. I can't believe we let a woman escape. Hurry up and look for her outside. She must have escaped from this villa." Zhang Yunqing was furious. At this time, a pirate ran down the stairs. "Mr. Zhang, I found something." Zhang Yunqing and Zhang Hua quickly went upstairs. Guo Yifan was tied up and thrown in a corner. He began to feel nervous again. Did the girl escape? This is a tunnel? Fuck. That woman must have escaped through this tunnel. You guys jump down and take a look. Zhang Yunqing was brought to the master bedroom on the 3rd floor. The room had long been turned upside down. The bed was torn into several pieces, and the tunnel under the bed was revealed. "Mr. Zhang, that woman disappeared for half an hour. I'm afraid she has escaped through the tunnel. It's probably too late to chase after her now." The tunnel was dark, cold, and smelly. The pirates obviously didn't want to go down. Zhang Yunqing was furious, but he did not dare to force these people into the tunnel. They were all from the Somali pirate crew. Zhang Yunqing had recently joined forces with the Somali pirate king to do a big business. That was how he managed to build a connection with the pirate king. He did not want to provoke the pirate king so easily. For the fastest and error-free reading, please bookmark this site for the latest. Chapter 1190. In the dead of night. In a villa in Madagascar, a woman suddenly barged in. Who are you? This is a private villa. Hurry up and leave. The bodyguards outside immediately stopped the woman. You bunch of good-for-nothings, you don't even recognize me? Lucy had just escaped death on the Somali island, so she roared out the anger in her heart. The group of bodyguards were all dumbfounded. Everyone looked at the woman in front of them. She was covered in dirt, her hair was messy, and her body smelled bad. Sister Lucy, is it really you? One of the bodyguards mustered up his courage and asked. Lucy slapped him. Who else could it be? Let me in. Although Lucy was in a sorry state, her aura did not change, scaring the group of bodyguards into immediately giving way. Your sister Lucy? Leah and Chin Feng were eating dinner in the villa. When they saw the woman who came in, Leah covered her mouth in shock. Chin Feng looked at the person and immediately recognized that it was Lucy. A few days ago, Lucy was tall, sexy, and had an outstanding temperament. Her every movement was like a rich young lady. But now, she was like a completely different person. Lucy, what's going on? Chin Feng leaped lightly and arrived beside Lucy and hugged her. Lucy was shocked and immediately began to struggle. Don't hug me. Woo. I'm smelly and dirty right now. I don't want to see you. Lucy suddenly burst into tears. She had just escaped from the Somali island, and now she was in a sorry state. Lucy did not want Chin Feng to see her in such an ugly state. She was afraid that Chin Feng would not want her in the future. Chin Feng hugged Lucy tightly and helped her smooth her hair. He said softly, Don't worry, since I've accepted the best of you, I'll also accept the worst of you. This is all because of you. Quickly tell me what happened. Chin Feng's words moved Lucy to tears. She finally understood why Xiaoyu was so infatuated with Chin Feng, and didn't even care that there were other women by Chin Feng's side. Lucy suddenly stopped struggling. Instead, she hugged Chin Feng tightly and lay in his arms. The anxiety and panic in her heart instantly calmed down, and it was as if the world had stopped. Sister Lucy, are you in trouble? Quickly tell Chin Feng. He will definitely help you solve it. Leah had already run over. Seeing Lucy's current appearance, Leah's heart ached. After hugging Chin Feng for a while, Lucy finally calmed down. Then, she began to tell Chin Feng everything that happened tonight. Zhang Hua and his son? Those two bastards are simply too bad. Big sister Lucy, don't worry, I'll stand up for you. After Leah heard this, her anger overflowed to the heavens, and Chin Feng's face darkened. Your father was captured by Zhang Hua and the others, right? Chin Feng asked. I don't know. In order to buy time for me, my dad has been guarding the stairs and refused to leave. He's probably been caught. Sob. Chin Feng, they won't kill my father, right? At the mention of her father, Lucy became worried again. Chin Feng patted her back and comforted her. Don't worry. Since you've escaped, they won't dare to kill your father. Otherwise, what if you call the police to arrest them? Chin Feng is right. Those people will lock your father up and use him to force you to go back. Before that, Uncle's life will definitely not be in danger. Leah analyzed with her many years of experience as a police officer. Guo Yifan would not be in danger for the time being. So everyone's hearts calmed down a little. After knowing the truth, Chin Feng was already furious. He had a relationship with Lucy, so he treated this girl as his own woman. How could he allow others to bully Lucy? Darling, how do you plan to deal with this matter? Leah understood Chin Feng very well, and knew that Chin Feng was going to retaliate. Lucy, go take a shower first. Don't worry about this matter. I will definitely help you seek justice. Chin Feng patted Lucy's back, and Lucy obediently went upstairs. Just as Lucy left, Chin Feng's expression turned cold. He took out his phone and called the Scorpion King. After the call connected, Chin Feng only said one sentence. I'll give you 10 minutes to come to the villa. Chin Feng's words were like an imperial edict. After the Scorpion King received the call, he hurriedly drove over. When he stood in front of Chin Feng, it took exactly 10 minutes. Big brother Chin, why are you looking for me in the middle of the night? The Scorpion King was so tired that he was panting. He had a bad feeling in his heart. Chin Feng sat on the sofa with a cold expression. The moment he opened his mouth, he scared the Scorpion King half to death. Gather the brothers of the Blood Alliance. and attack the Somali pirates with me tonight." The Scorpion King had just woken up from his sleep and rushed over. He thought he was still dreaming. "Huh, Big Brother Chin, did I hear wrong? Attack the Somali pirates now. Those people have a lot of power, and each one is more ruthless than the other. They are not to be trifled with." Chin Feng glanced at the Scorpion King and said angrily, "You're afraid of the Firebird and the Somali pirates? Are you a hooligan or not? You might as well die now. Then you won't have to be afraid anymore." As Chin Feng spoke, a resplendent flame suddenly rose from his palm, scaring the Scorpion King so much that he fell on his butt. "Big Brother Chin, I am not afraid. Don't burn me. I'll gather all the members of the Blood Alliance and help you attack the Somali pirates now." The Scorpion King was really scared. Chin Feng's magical fire-making skill was so cool and powerful. Was this the legendary warlock of China? Seeing the Scorpion King's terrified expression, Chin Feng waved his hand, and the destructive fire disappeared. "Give me a plan of attack." Chin Feng had always been a rational person. Even if he was furious, he still had to discuss a beneficial plan before he could carry it out. The Scorpion King hurriedly said, "Big Brother Chin, the Somali pirates are good at sea. Their armed forces are all on the sea. They have 3 large cruise ships and more than 10 warships. Even the government doesn't dare to offend these pirates. If we attack them, I'm afraid we'll be at a disadvantage." Chin Feng wasn't proficient in naval battles. He had always fought on land and in the air. However, at this moment, Little Pig's voice sounded in Chin Feng's mind. "Master, I sense the black tortoise. It's near the Indian Ocean." At the mention of the black tortoise, Chin Feng was instantly confident. As long as he could find this giant of the sea, the Somali pirates would not be able to withstand a single blow. Lucy's father is trapped on the Somali island by Zhang Hua and the others. There's a diamond mine on the island. Bring the Blood Alliance to the island to rescue Gui Yifan and take back the diamond mine. Is there a problem? Chin Feng had already assigned the Scorpion King a mission. The Scorpion King's body was still trembling. With a depressed expression, he said, "Big Brother Chin, I won't hide it from you. It's not difficult to occupy the Somali island, because the main forces of the Somali pirates are at sea. There aren't many people guarding the island. The difficult part is how to go ashore. With the pirates there, all the approaching ships will be intercepted and inspected by them. I'm afraid the Blood Alliance won't even be able to get to the Somali island." The Scorpion King was speaking the truth. The Somali pirates had dominated the Somali island for a long time. Even the government couldn't do anything to them. The Blood Alliance's forces were on par with the pirates. However, if they went to someone else's territory, they would not be able to withstand a single blow. "Chin Feng, I know about the Somali pirates. Just like what the Scorpion King said, they are very powerful at sea. They are easy to defend and hard to attack." Leah frowned. She was not optimistic about the plan to attack the Somali pirates. The Scorpion King looked at Leah, as if he had seen his savior. After a short moment of happiness, Chin Feng said in an unquestionable tone, "The plan to attack the Somali pirates has been set. No one can change it. But leave the battle on the sea to me. Leah, you and the Scorpion King will bring the Blood Alliance ashore and control the forces on the island." Chin Feng's words hit the table. No one could change it. The Scorpion King looked distressed. He could imagine the scene of the Blood Alliance being annihilated in the sea tonight. Leah was also worried. However, she knew Chin Feng too well. Once Chin Feng had decided on something, she couldn't change his mind. Leah didn't try to persuade him anymore. After the 3 of them discussed the plan, Lucy walked down the stairs after her bath. She had changed into a set of red silk pajamas. Her fair and long legs were exposed to the air. Her face was exquisite and flawless. She had regained her original beauty and elegance. The Scorpion King lowered his head and didn't dare to look around. Lucy had already taken the initiative to hold Chin Feng's arm and leaned into his embrace. "Chin Feng, you called the Scorpion King here? Are you discussing a plan to save my father?" Lucy understood the situation immediately. Chin Feng caressed Lucy's jade back and said, "Don't worry about this. You've been exhausted recently. Hurry up and go to sleep. When you wake up, Your father and your family's business will be back. What Qin Feng said was the truth. However, Lucy found it hard to believe. If Qin Feng could save her father, it might be possible. However, Guo Yifen's property was stolen by Zhang Hua. Lucy didn't believe that Qin Feng could get it back. Especially that diamond mine. It was taken by the Somali pirates. Even the Blood Alliance couldn't do anything to them. What could Qin Feng do? Then I'll go up first. I won't lock the door. Come at night if you want. Lucy hadn't slept well for 3 days and 3 nights. She was really exhausted. She kissed Qin Feng and went upstairs. She didn't know Qin Feng's plan. Otherwise, she would have stopped him. All right. Let's move out. I'll go first. Wait for my news at the Somali coast in half an hour before you attack. Qin Feng strode out of the villa. Li Ye and the Scorpion King looked at each other helplessly. It was late at night. It was pitch black outside. But Qin Feng's eyes were not affected at all. He wore night vision goggles and floated in the air like a ghost. The pink light flickered, and Qin Feng disappeared hundreds of meters in the span of a breath. Master, we're almost there. The signal from the black tortoise is getting stronger. Little Pig's excited voice sounded in Qin Feng's mind. The sense of familiarity in Qin Feng's heart grew stronger. He followed this feeling and flew on his flying sword for another 5 minutes. He had arrived at a sea in the southwest of the Indian Ocean. Roar! Suddenly, a strong wind blew on the calm sea. An ancient beast's roar came from the bottom of the sea. Thousands of waves were stirred up on the surface of the sea. Finally, a giant whirlpool appeared. It was as if a giant beast was slowly floating up from the bottom of the sea. For the fastest and error-free reading, please bookmark this site for the latest reading. Chapter 1191. Qin Feng was stunned by the huge change in the waves. Qin Feng hadn't seen Black Turtle in a while. What did this guy look like now? Roar, roar. The roars exploded on the surface of the sea like thunder. The whirlpool became bigger and bigger, and the surrounding sea looked like a hurricane. Luckily, there were no ships passing by. Otherwise, they would be torn to pieces if they fell into this hurricane. Qin Feng stood on his flying sword and hovered in the air. True qi surged all over his body and barely protected his body from the attack of the sea wind. A giant turtle's shell was the first to emerge from the sea. The turtle's shell was as big as a ship. It was like a new island revealed after the tide receded. Whoosh! The waves rose violently. A red silhouette emerged from the sea like a dragon. It was extremely fast and rushed in front of Qin Feng in an instant. Qin Feng still remembered that when he first formed Black Turtle, the mini-banded kite was only as thick as a thumb. Now it was like a flood dragon entering the sea. When it rushed out, its body was dozens of meters long. It opened its bloody mouth, as if it could swallow a living person. Damn, this guy isn't going to eat me, right? Qin Feng froze in the air. How long had it been? Black Turtle doubled in size again. Why would Black Turtle eat Master? It's too excited to see Master. Little Pig said calmly. The mini-banded kite's bloody mouth was already next to Qin Feng's face, but it didn't eat Qin Feng's head. It also didn't lick Qin Feng's face with its blood-red tongue, because the mini-banded kite's mouth carried venom. If it licked Qin Feng, he would immediately be corroded into mist and dissipate. Black Turtle, are you okay? Qin Feng reached out and touched the mini-banded kite's head. The mini-banded kite happily swung around on the surface of the sea. Whoosh! A red light flashed, and the mini-banded kite placed Qin Feng on its head. In the blink of an eye, Qin Feng was placed on Black Turtle's back. Black Turtle was roaring wildly on the surface of the sea. Every roar was intimidating, as if it was the overlord of the sea. Black Turtle, you've become so big. How many aquatic creatures have you harmed? Qin Feng touched the turtle's shell and began to feel guilty for the fish and prawns that were eaten. It was Qin Feng who formed this giant water monster and released it into the sea. Roar! Roar! Black Tortoise kept howling excitedly, and Little Pig translated. Master! Black Tortoise says he's eating less now because he's started losing weight due to his sudden weight gain. He only eats the amount of whale meat in one meal. The corners of Qin Feng's mouth twitched. He thought to himself, if the Black Turtle stayed in the sea for a year and a half, would there be any other living creatures in the sea? Qianfen was happy to see the black tortoise again. He had made those battle pets with his own hands, and they were as close to him as his own children. After chatting for a while, Qianfen thought of proper business. He looked at the time and saw that it was about time. He patted Black Tortoise's shell and said, "Little fellow, head towards the Somali Islands. Master will take you to war." The Black Tortoise was very bored in the sea every day, and it did not meet any strong opponents. Now that its master had asked it to help fight the enemy, the Black Tortoise was extremely excited. It immediately set off towards Somalia Island with full firepower. Everywhere it passed, it stirred up 1,000 layers of waves. In the waters of Somalia, Leah and Scorpion King had already rushed over with their men. If they wanted to land on Somalia Island, they had to pass through the vast Somali waters in front of them. There were Somali pirates guarding this area 24 hours a day. More than 10 battleships were scattered around the area. Leah stood at the bow of the main battleship and used her binoculars to observe the situation on the opposite side. Thousands of meters away were filled with battleships. Just the formation alone was enough to scare people. "Sister-in-law Leah, what should we do now? Why isn't Big Brother Qin here yet? If this goes on, we'll all be annihilated." Scorpion King stood beside Leah and was as anxious as an ant on a hot pan. The Somali pirates had already discovered the 5 battleships on Leah's side and issued 2 warnings. According to the rules of the sea, as long as the ships did not retreat after 3 warnings, the pirates would immediately start fighting. This was Leah's first time participating in a sea battle. Her brows were already knitted together. She had been waiting for Qianfen to appear. Before Qianfen arrived, Leah would definitely not retreat. Wouldn't that ruin Qianfeng's plan? "Listen up, the ship's on the other side. This is the last warning. I'll give you 5 more minutes. If you don't retreat, we'll immediately launch an attack on you." The pirate ship on the other side sent out another warning. The Scorpion King was so scared that he almost knelt down. The other side was a pirate group that fought on the sea all year round, and basically no one on his side had fought on the sea before. Furthermore, the Scorpion King's equipment on the sea was not complete. However, compared to the 3 large cruise ships and the dozen or so elite warships, they were completely unable to withstand a single blow. "Sister-in-law, why don't we retreat first? Big Brother Qin might have been delayed by something. If we stay here any longer, we might really die." Scorpion King began to persuade Leah again. Leah looked calm on the surface, but she was actually extremely anxious in her heart. The Scorpion King continued to grumble endlessly, immediately angering Leah. "You shut up. If Qianfen doesn't come, I won't retreat. Also, you're not allowed to curse Qianfen. If there's a next time, I'll kill you first." Leah was a martial artist who had been cleansed by Qianfen. Although she had only broken through to stage 3 inner chi, killing a normal person like the Scorpion King was still a piece of cake. The Scorpion King was somewhat angry, but when he recalled Qianfeng's miraculous methods, he still had some misgivings. He could only retreat to the side and sulk. Time passed second by second. Seeing that the last 5 minutes were up, the pirate group on the other side did not even send out a warning. 8 of the warships sounded the horn and directly drove towards them. "It's over, it's over. Those lunatics are attacking us. Sister-in-law, let's retreat quickly. It doesn't matter if you and I die, but my brothers have been through life and death with me for more than 10 years. I can't let them die for nothing, right?" The Scorpion King could not hold it anymore. He ran up and spun the roulette, changing the direction of the ship and retreating. Leah was instantly enraged. With a slap, she sent the Scorpion King flying onto the deck. "I said we can't leave, so we can't leave. If we leave, wouldn't Qianfen be courting death by coming here alone?" The Scorpion King had his concerns, and Leah also had her insistence. This was the first time the Scorpion King had seen Leah in action. He was so shocked that he was a little absent-minded. Why were all the Chinese so powerful? Could it be that they had been practicing martial arts since they were young? Bang! However, at this moment, a loud sound exploded on the surface of the sea. The ship that Leah and the Scorpion King were on seemed to have been hit by something and shook violently. "Fuck, these pirates are crazy. They really dared to fight. Do they think I, the Scorpion King, am a sick cat? I'll fight it out with them. The Scorpion King was a big shot after all. The moment he was being ridden on top of his head, the anger and hot blood in his heart completely exploded. Brothers, beat them up. Beat these stinky pirates to death. The Scorpion King picked up the walkie-talkie and roared. The 5 warships immediately spread out and launched a counterattack against the Somali pirates. Rumble! Rumble! For a moment, the sea was filled with artillery fire. It felt like a storm was about to descend. Thunder King, that group of people actually dared to counterattack. They have already hit one of our warships. The pirates on the other side were so angry that they exploded. The commander of the naval battle was shouting at the Pirate King. On the large cruise ship that did not participate in the battle, the Somali Pirate King was sitting in the control cabin and watching the battle. The Pirate King was called the Thunder King by everyone. He was in his early 50s and wore a leather windbreaker. He wore a crown on his head, and his neck was filled with the teeth of various ferocious fish. Where did this trash come from? How dare you provoke the dignity of my pirate group? Launch a fierce attack. I want them all wiped out. The Thunder King roared into the microphone, his deep eyes spewing out flames of anger. The 8 pirate teams at the front line immediately changed their formation. Not long later, they surrounded Liya's 5 warships and launched a new round of fierce attacks. Scorpion King, what's going on? The warship suddenly shook violently, as if it was about to be overturned. Liya finally realized that she was surrounded, and was so nervous that she did not know what to do. This was the first time the Scorpion King and the others had fought at sea. They did not expect to be defeated so quickly. The Scorpion King immediately shouted at Liya, "Sister-in-law, let's abandon the ship and escape." Liya had always wanted to wait for Qin Feng to come, because she knew that since Qin Feng said he would come, he would definitely come. However, the situation in front of them was extremely dangerous. Liya's warship was the most fiercely attacked, like a small sail swaying in the waves, about to sink to the bottom of the sea at any time. No, Qin Feng isn't here yet, we can't leave. However, Liya still persisted. The Scorpion King was a little helpless. At this time, a few of his lackeys ran over in panic. "Scorpion King, it's not good. There's a big hole in the bottom of the ship, and the seawater is surging up. If we don't leave now, we'll all fall into the sea." The situation became more and more dangerous. Not only was Liya's warship unable to hold on any longer, the other 4 warships were also riddled with holes. Many members of the Blood Alliance were thrown into the sea, and some were forced to jump into the sea. The Scorpion King could no longer hold on any longer, and immediately sent someone to throw the yacht into the sea. "Sister-in-law, hurry up and escape with me on the yacht. If we don't leave now, it will really be too late. The people on the other side, listen up. You've been surrounded. Surrender immediately, or we'll destroy your ship." The 8 warships were approaching at an extremely fast speed, and their cannons had also stopped firing. It was obvious that they felt that Liya's warship was no longer a threat. Seeing that the 8 warships had already docked, and the members of the dozen or so pirate groups had all jumped onto Liya's warship, the members of the Blood Alliance were in complete despair. They did not even have the chance to escape. "Sigh! The Blood Alliance is about to be destroyed. Why hasn't Big Brother Qin appeared yet?" The Scorpion King was too lazy to run anymore. He knew that he wouldn't be able to run even if he wanted to. So he sat on the deck with a dejected look. Liya looked at the vast ocean, but she did not despair. She believed that Qin Feng would definitely come, but she could not even see a small sail in the surrounding sea. Where did Qin Feng go? Roar! Suddenly, a furious roar that sounded like that of an ancient beast came from the bottom of the sea. The roar was like thunder, and actually caused the calm sea surface to suddenly surge with raging waves. For the fastest and most error-free reading, please bookmark this site to read the latest. Chapter 1192. What's that sound? Lisua, what's going on over there? Thunder King, I don't know. There seems to be a giant beast at the bottom of the sea. Bullshit, giant beast. We, the Somali pirates, have killed all kinds of underwater creatures. Even if there's a giant beast, it's still on our plate. The Somali pirates were stunned by the sudden appearance of the raging waves on the calm sea. These pirates had been fighting at sea all year round. What kind of underwater creatures had they not seen? Even sharks and whales were killed by them for meat. However, the creature that emerged from the sea this time was obviously not an ordinary underwater creature. From the huge whirlpool, it was at least the size of a cruise ship. "Captain, it's out. It's a big sea turtle." "Fuck. How can there be such a big sea turtle? It's a fucking tortoise." "Ah. No, it's not a sea turtle, it's a dragon." The roar shook the sky, and the tsunami rose in all directions. The black tortoise revealed half of its shell, and the mini-banded kite suddenly shot up from the bottom of the sea. Its tens of meters long body instantly stunned the Somali pirates. Even Leah and the rest were dumbfounded. This was the first time they had seen a real dragon in their lives. However, when they looked closely, it didn't seem to be a dragon. Could it be a flood dragon from the bottom of the sea? Big sister, what kind of monster is this? What should we do?" The Scorpion King had already fallen to the ground in fright. His body trembled nonstop as if he was convulsing. Leah was also dumbstruck. How would she know what to do? Where did this huge water monster come from? Leah was instead worried about Qin Feng. She suddenly hoped that Qin Feng would not come, or else everyone would die. "Scorpion King, there's someone on the back of the huge water monster." Someone from the Blood Alliance shouted. That person held the binoculars and saw Qin Feng standing on the back of the sea turtle. It seems to be Big Brother Qin." The subordinate's words shocked everyone. The Scorpion King immediately snatched the binoculars from that person's hands and looked over. Leah asked the Scorpion King anxiously, "Is it Qin Feng? Is it Qin Feng?" "Fuck. Sister-in-law. What kind of god is Big Brother Qin? Is this his pet?" The Scorpion King looked carefully, and the person on the back of the sea turtle was Qin Feng. Leah then snatched the binoculars from the Scorpion King's hands and looked over. The moment she saw Qin Feng, she was so excited that her tears fell. "I knew Qin Feng wouldn't abandon me. We're saved. Qin Feng came to save us," Leah shouted excitedly. She had forgotten how many times Qin Feng had saved her from danger. When the people from Blood Alliance learned that Qin Feng had come, their despair instantly shot into the sky. Even though their warships were leaking, and quite a number of people had fallen into the sea, they were not worried at all. They believed that Qin Feng would save them. "Little Silver Ring, it's all up to you now." Qin Feng stood with his hands behind his back. He looked like a god of war, as he stood on the back of the turtle. The mini-banded kite seemed to like its master's nickname very much. In fact, based on the mini-banded kite's age and body shape, it was indeed a small mini-banded kite. Puff! The mini-banded kite, which had been smiling foolishly at Qin Feng a second ago, suddenly opened its bloody mouth and spat a few mouthfuls of blood at the Somali pirates' warship. Immediately, it seemed as if it was raining, but the mist was a black liquid that emitted a strong stench in the air. When it landed on the warship, it immediately corroded the ship into black gas. The attack of the poisonous bubble was very fierce. Qin Feng was terrified when he saw it. He thought that if the mini-banded kite attacked him, he might not be able to dodge it. The sound of the wind and waves came from the sea, and waves of screams rose and fell. The poisonous liquid could even easily corrode the steel and wood warship. When it landed on human skin, the pirates were instantly corroded into skeletons. In the end, even their bones turned into black mist. Leah and the others were dumbstruck. They were obviously shocked by this hellish scene. The Somali pirate group, which had always been fierce and invincible on the sea, was now completely defeated. They had already started to turn around and flee. "Lisua, what the fuck are you doing? Who told you to retreat?" The Thunder King stood on the cruise ship behind them. He was too far away, and did not know what was happening on the battlefield. "Thunder King, there's a big water monster, a very powerful big water monster. Half of our members are dead. If we don't retreat, we'll all die." Lisua had fought hundreds of naval battles in the southern part of the Indian Ocean, but this was the first time he was scared witless. "Bullshit, big water monster. You're a pirate. You can only die in battle and not run. Hold on. I'll personally lead a team to support you. The Thunder King was furious. He had already mobilized the remaining 3 cruise ships and 8 warships towards Qinfen. Li Suo and the others didn't dare to retreat, nor could they advance. They were almost scared to death when they saw the mini-banded kite that shot into the sky and spat out a mouthful of poisonous liquid. Fuck, let's fight this water monster to the death. Attack. Li Suo panicked and ordered to attack the Black Tortoise. The 8 pirate ships that surrounded Li Ya and the others instantly changed direction and surrounded the Black Tortoise. Aim. Fire. Boom. The 8 warships fired their cannons at the same time. For a moment, the sky was filled with cannon fire, and half the sea was awakened. The sky was filled with explosions and sparks. Every time the mini-banded kite poked its head out, it would be shot. Several bloody wounds appeared on its body. Roar, roar. The mini-banded kite coiled at the bottom of the sea and couldn't get out. The Black Tortoise was enraged, and the other half of its turtle shell that was hidden at the bottom of the sea surfaced, causing its body to double in size. Li Suo and the other pirates were instantly scared half to death. Roar, roar. The angry roar shook the sky, and the waves on the sea instantly roared. The sea turtle's awakened martial skill was tsunami roar. Once it roared, the sea was enraged. Thousands of huge waves rolled over, as if they were going to swallow the heaven and earth. Fuck. What kind of monster is this? Captain Li Suo, if we don't retreat, our fleet will be annihilated in the waves. The enraged sea turtle instantly suppressed everyone. The waves surged up like a wall, and the cannons couldn't penetrate it. The Thunder King led a group of troops and rushed over. Just as he reached the edge of the battlefield, he was dumbstruck. This really was a big water monster. Even the Thunder King had never seen it before. The Thunder King is here, we're saved. Li Suo saw the Thunder King's ships and shouted excitedly. Halfway through his shout, the Thunder King cursed through the walkie-talkie. Fuck! Hurry up and retreat. This is a 10,000-year-old water monster. How can we fight it? After the Thunder King shouted, the ship turned around and started to escape to Somalia Island. Li Suo's eyes almost rolled out of his head. What the fuck is this? Black Tortoise, leave them in the sea. No one can escape. Qinfen ordered. The Black Tortoise stirred up thousands of huge waves and chased after the warship. Qinfen shouted to Li Ya and the Hero Alliance. Xiaoya, I'll deal with the pirates. You bring the Scorpion King and the others ashore. Save Lucy's father, and snatch the diamond back. Everything was under Qinfeng's control. This was the plan he had with everyone. Leah woke up with a start. She couldn't help but look at the huge Black Tortoise again. Then she ordered, Scorpion King, listen to my order. Bring your men ashore immediately. Although our ship is broken, it won't be a problem for us to reach the shore. The Scorpion King woke up with a start. He realized that Qinfen alone had scared the Somali pirates. Once again, the Scorpion King witnessed Qinfeng's power. This Chinese man was a god. Under the Scorpion King's order, the Blood Alliance went around the battlefield and advanced toward Somalia Island from the side. With the help of the Black Tortoise, the Somali pirates were completely on the run. They didn't have the time to stop Li Ya and the others. Both sides took action. Qinfen had already caught up to the dozen warships on the Black Tortoise. The mini-banded kite was enraged by these people. It soared into the sky again, and its body, which was dozens of meters long, swept across and instantly smashed 5 warships into pieces. Thunder King, it's catching up. The big water monster is catching up. Li Suo saw the 5 warships collapse a few hundred meters behind him. He was so scared that he almost had a heart attack. The Thunder King had been in the Somali Sea for more than 10 years, and this was the first time he was so frightened. He didn't have the time to care about Li Suo. Boom! With a furious roar, the mini-banded kite rushed out again. Another 3 warships sank to the bottom of the sea. These huge warships were like children's toy cars in front of the mini-banded kite. They couldn't withstand a single blow. Li Suo, hurry up and stop that monster. Attack it. The Thunder King was so scared that he didn't dare to stay, but he asked Li Suo to attack the Black Tortoise to buy him time to escape. Li Suo was so angry that his lungs were about to explode. However, he also realized that escaping would only lead to death. If he attacked, he might scare the big water monster away. Everyone turn around. As soon as the water monster pokes its head out, immediately fire the cannons. The remaining 8 warships lined up and aimed their cannons at the sea. They were ready to fire at any time. The sea, which was originally roaring with wind and waves, suddenly became quiet. The wind and waves were calm, and there was no movement at all. However, Li Suo and the others were so scared that their hearts almost stopped. These pirates, who had been in the sea for many years, knew very well that the calm of the wind and waves was the eve of the storm. Roar! Sure enough, a loud explosion suddenly sounded. It came from the bottom of the row of warships. The expressions of the pirates on the ship changed drastically. They didn't even have the chance to react. The hard deck at the bottom of the ship instantly split open, and many people fell into the sea. The mini-bandit kite opened its bloody mouth, and it could swallow more than 10 people in one gulp. After it soared into the sky, it smashed into the sea and flew out again after a few seconds of silence. Bang 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 bang. The 8 warships became fragile pieces of junk, and the warship that Li Suo was on had already sunk to the bottom of the sea. Li Suo finally saw the mini-bandit kite clearly, but he saw it clearly when he fell into its mouth. Li Suo? Hurry up and fucking reply. Mute, say something. Heather. The warships that were blocking the way were all dead. The Thunder King led the 3 cruise ships and kept shouting, but after shouting for dozens of captains, no one replied to the Thunder King. You're tuning in to the Dreamy Chapters YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.